tell you good night. Guess I'll find a better one. Yeah. Susceptible now before the moment flies. Ooh. So tell you good night. Guess I'll find a better one. Ooh. Susceptible now before the moment flies.
Ladies and gentlemen, put a one in the chat if y'all can hear me. Want to make sure y'all can hear me loud and clear. All right. Thank you guys for being here tonight. Another episode of Flipping Tables with your host, BMU. And you know I got to have my boy with me, right? My co-host, my guy, my brother from another mother. Lost in Translation is in the building tonight. How you doing, my guy?
I am well. How are you today, sir?
Man, I'm sunshine, partly cloudy with a chance of rain, but we're going to make it. All
Yes,
right.
indeed.
Man, listen, you know, I'm going to go to the chat real quick. We're going to get in there. I know we see Take Heat in there. We see Miss Jenny in there. We see Real Vibrato Network is in that thing tonight. Almond is in that thing dancing to the most iconic theme song this side of Earth. Rest in peace to Kevin Samuels, man.
That's right, man.
We always got to give homage to that guy when we can. So we'll have that playing in the background. But thank you guys for being here tonight. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We're about to talk about Parentage by Estoppe tonight on Flipping Tables. Now, listen, I'm excited. I just can't hide it. I am not appalled. I am not opposed to sitting over in the corner with all my other brothers and sisters and letting people who are more educated in this manner talk about this. So tonight, leading us on the show tonight, we have the beautiful Jamie in the building, right? The queen has made her arrival. She is here along with Lost in Translation. He's also well versed in this as well. I talked to Jamie earlier today in the DMs. We were talking and she was telling me about she's seen cases like this come through the courthouse where she used to work. And so, man, I'm so excited because she is real knowledge. So I'm going to let Lost in Translation and Jamie lead us tonight. I'm going to be over here with Mr. Bennett, Take Heed, Payne in this corner, and we're going to get it in, all right? So welcome to Flipping Tables. After this right here, we're going to get it in. Y'all already know we got to get this intro out the way because we got to see positivity in Black men today. And so the reason for this intro is to show that. So we love you. Thank you for being here. If you want to give to the channel, make sure you do that. You can give super chats or scroll at the bottom of the screen right now. You can give cash apps, all right? So again, we appreciate you. And after this intro, the show will be starting. Here we go.
I love you, Black man.
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 Black man, I love you.
You're Black man, I love you.
I love you. I appreciate you.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another edition of Flipping Tables with Black Man Unfiltered and LIT. Welcome to another edition. Tonight's show is going to be a very special show. I just wanted to go ahead and give thanks to the folks in the chat and everybody on the panel. We're going to go ahead and get everybody's temperature changed before we get started and just make sure that we get everybody's temperature to see how they're doing. We're going to first start with TJ in the house. Sir, how are you today?
I'm for the steal 60 seconds. Y'all time on the introduction. I'm just hijacking. First of all, I wish I was in my studio with me because y'all don't understand. Like I got 312s. I got some mids and some highs. So when you hit that fucking anthem, you know what I mean? That gorilla is coming. We gonna fuck you up, anthem. When y'all hit my fucking 3,000 square foot house, be rocking. That's what's up. I love that march. Second of all, I'm telling you, man, that should be over. If y'all put that camera on me when y'all doing that intro, it'll be some embarrassing shit for me because I'll be over here turning the fuck up over this. I love it. I love that shit. Second of all, real quick before we get going, 2 weeks ago I announced that we are getting rid of the Real Bravado Network, and in that 2 weeks, I have received 285 new subs to that channel.
That's what's up, man.
All I gotta say is, where the fuck were y'all at when I was going live, motherfuckers?
That's usually how it is, man.
Really feel.
Tell us how you really feel, baby.
You motherfuckers, you should have been subbing. I mean, in 2 weeks. I mean, so what kind of message that saying? We glad you dismantling this shit? Is that what y'all saying? Fuck y'all. No.
You know what, man? Kevin always said, man, you got to support black male media, man. That's the only way we're going to get the message out.
No, I want to thank everybody, but we got some good shit coming up in a couple of months. So thank everybody that's decided to jump on. I think y'all understand that even though the Real Bravado Network is going away, that some good shit's coming. And I'm telling you, some good shit is coming.
Now, TJ, I want to do, since here in Black Men Unfiltered Network, I love each and every person that comes on the panels, comes and give us their time and their thoughts and their perspectives. And so since you came in hot tonight, and I know that you had a little issues with people coming in the sub and after you said the channel was going to be gone, and we're all about cheering people up here. We're all about putting a smile on your face. So I wanted to ease your mind tonight with a little something that I know you'd like before we move on to the next person. Here we go.
Tryna pour out all night, DJ play another song. Tryna pour out all night, DJ play another song. Tryna pour out all night, DJ play another song. Tryna pour out all night, DJ play another song. Tryna pour out all night, DJ play another song. Tryna pour out all night, DJ play another song. Tryna pour out all night, DJ play another song. Tryna pour out all night, DJ play another song.
It's clever, baby. I'm in this bitch with AJ in the club, jumping up and down like it's payday. Party all night, shout out to my nigga, baby. Yeah, that's my DJ. That's my DJ. Nigga, I been rolling like a Mack truck. Bam, 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 throw me back one. Don't step on my shoes, nigga, back up. But you fuck around and get your bitch snatched up. Yeah, they done let me in, they done let me through, yeah. Nigga, it's whatever what you wanna do, yeah. Out of my head, chicken all night long. DJ, run this bitch, I'm tryna.
I'm a PhD.
All right.
I'm about flipping the tables. God damn
That's
it.
it. That's it.
All right, go ahead, Lawson.
Let's go. Miss Jenny, how are you today, darling? You know we got to hit you with the sprinkles.
Okay. I'm great. I was having a really good day until I was trying to make dinner and I was going to make pizza, and I was making my usual pizza dough recipe, and then it just wouldn't come together for some reason. It wouldn't actually turn into a ball of dough, and I was kneading it for like an hour. And so we just ended up having night breakfast, and I made scrambled eggs and bacon. So
I know that's right.
it was all good until that. I mean, and then it was all good still, but yeah, I don't know bread is so fickle. That's the only thing about cooking from scratch is that it doesn't always come out perfectly like it does at the store.
Yeah, you're right. Absolutely right. Thank you so much. Also, we have Embrace the Grace. Welcome to the channel, darling. How are you this evening?
I'm good. Long day, but I'm here every Tuesday night showing support and being part of the great team. So I'm good. I'm ready.
Yes, indeed. So glad to have you back. And also Black Man Unfiltered. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How are you this evening, sir?
You know, man, I'm sunshine, partly cloudy. I'm just honeymoon happy and peacock proud to see so many beautiful faces on tonight. So good to see the lady in red who ain't scared. I like to see our Pain in the building tonight with that great beard becoming himself. I like to see the president of the 7 Bs in the building tonight. I like to see embrace all of the grace, less nagging and more gagging. I like to see Mrs. Jenny in the house, TJ in the house, and Jamie co-hosting with you tonight. I'm so glad to have her here tonight to offer her information as well. So thank you guys for having me on your show tonight, because this is your show tonight. Go ahead, Doc.
There we go. And next on the list, the president of the 7B network. We're going to, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Mr. Bennett.
Appreciate you guys. Again, salute to my brothers. Salute to the bold and the beautiful, the beneficent, benevolent ball brotherhood of the BME network. It's good to share this environment with the follically free, and good to share this platform with you guys again. I am feeling swell, and we're on the countdown, T-minus 10 days until marriage season number 27 is in the books. We prepare for marriage season 28. So, so the missus and I, we're getting ready for that, and we're just going to keep this thing rolling, roll right into the next season. We don't take an off season. We just go right into the next one. But 10 days from now, we'll wrap this one up, and we start that on to the next one.
Congratulations, Mr. Bennett, to you and your lovely bride, sir. Yeah. Thank you so much. And last but not least, but we still got one more to go. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together. We all know it's Take Heed to the Message.
Come on,
Take Heed. How are you this evening, darling?
I'm doing just fine. My husband had me rubbing him down.
Oh my God.
Before I started.
That's because you was cutting up this morning.
So, I'm his slave, and I do some strange things for a piece of change.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Oh, yes. That's wonderful. Come on.
We doing fine over here. We doing all
good. As always, it's glad to have you in the service one more time. Ladies and gentlemen, we also know him as the Continent. He also has a show on the Black Man Unfiltered show called what's it called? Mr. Boomer.
Mr. Boomer.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the one and only our Pain.
Yeah. Good evening, everybody. Listen, after 36 years of marriage, my wife finally said, "You're a man now that you got a beard and shit." So I don't know how to take that.
Like puppet, I don't know
how to take it. You rub that thing and say, "Oh man, where you been?" I said, "Wait a minute, honey. Wait a minute. Just stop it." Yeah, I'm only joking, but yeah, I don't know. I'm just fooling around. Hey, listen, it's good to be here tonight. Should be an interesting conversation.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And I want to also welcome my lovely co-host to the stage, the one and only Jamie in the building.
Hey, everybody. Thank you for having me. I've had a great day, actually. I got to spend time with my nephew. I haven't seen him in a while, and so he's grown, and I just had a good day. And I had a good interview. I just got off of an interview with somebody. So, and if there's any men on here that, love the Lord and want to give their testimony, I need you to come on. But that's it.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that.
That's right. You love the Lord, come on down. You know what I'm saying?
So,
well,
is that everybody? Is that everybody?
I think that's everybody, man. We don't have anybody in the back. Nope, that's it. That's everybody.
I want to say this real quick before we get started. Real quick. Happy anniversary to Mr. Bennett and your wife, man. I pray for you guys that your union becomes stronger and stronger each year that you're together. I also want to say Miss Jenny's anniversary is tomorrow.
All right.
So we want to say happy anniversary to her and her husband. As you guys, I pray for you guys to be stronger each year. You guys are together as well. Now that we have that done, I want to say this to Mr. Bennett. Mr. Bennett, I want to show so much gratitude and appreciation for what you did for me on Sunday. And guys, I think that when people do something in your life, I think you should be able to express it and actually put it on the table in order for to give people their flowers and for people to learn from it. Or as a learning situation. Now, let me tell you guys what happened very briefly. My daughter went to see her grandmother and for a week for spring break. And while she was there, there was an uncle who was shunned from the family who happened to show up for the family gathering. After the family gathering was over, on the way home, I went pick my daughters up from Louisiana. On the way home, my daughter said, "Daddy, I want to show you something," and I'm very creeped out by it. I said, "Okay, baby, what is it? What you got to? You like you're about to cry? What's going on?" And I got a picture of this uncle who's married into the family. He's not blood related. He married into the family. Sending my daughter inappropriate pictures to her phone. Now, my daughter's 15, and he's a fucking predator. So, Mr. Bennett happened to save his life Sunday. Yeah. I think if I didn't get a chance to talk to Mr. Bennett on Sunday.
Mute, black man.
You're mute.
Yeah, you're on mute.
Testing 1 2.
There you go. Yeah, we got you.
And I just want to say to Mr. Bennett, thank you for saving that man's life, and thank you for saving mine. Because I want to say just thank you, because I'd probably be in prison today if it wasn't.
Man, you don't know. I was out walking my dog when you reached out, and I just went to praying, man. Because I couldn't imagine again having 3 daughters myself, and I totally empathize with what you were feeling, but my thing was, again, first order of business: get away from harm's way, harm for you and your daughters. Get your folks out of there. But I was praying so hard that things would come to, and that's why I followed you the next day. It's just, are you okay? Are you guys safe?
Yeah.
And so that was just my first day, but yeah, but yeah, that was messing with me most of that night. So, but I'm glad you and your kids are safe.
Yeah. And the thing is, Mr. Bennett, I talked to you after I was looking for him, because none of their side of the family, on his side of the family, the people that I know, they would not give me his address. They would not tell me where he lived, because he had moved from currently where I knew he lived.
Yeah.
Right. And they wouldn't give me the address. They wouldn't give it to me, and that's what frustrated me. I had to call somebody, right?
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah. You were in it because you picked up and you already going at it still with someone else. You were all over. So I just want to make sure you was hearing me and whatnot. But I was glad I was able to get your attention. But yeah, that could have went another way very quickly.
Absolutely.
And,
so thank you, man. I just want to thank you, brother.
Yes, sir.
All right, Lost in Translation is you, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, before we get started, I'm going to go ahead and recognize my main man that just slid in the door, JT from the What We Know podcast. JT, check your temperature, man. How you doing today?
I'm doing well, man. It's Tuesday, homie. You know what it is. It's always good when I'm still above the earth. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
I'm still walking.
That's right. Well, today's show, man, is a special show, and it's near and dear to my heart. And I showed this to Black Man Unfiltered last week, and he told me that Jamie has some expertise behind it. So I was excited that I got a chance to work with her, and also to get you guys' opinion of the topic of the show. The topic of the show is called Parentage by Estoppe. I'm pretty sure you guys, some of you guys have probably heard of it. Some of you guys probably haven't. Jamie, before we get started, could you explain to us a little bit about what that is? And then after that, I'm going to show everybody a video from my one and only Dennis Sperling and O'Shea Duke Jackson. I'm going to also give those guys credit whenever we use their stuff to give them their props. Go ahead, Jamie.
All right, so I went ahead and looked it up so I could give you the technical term for that, right? And so an example of that is if a man is consistently introducing a child as his own and provides financial support, he may be able to be taken to court for child support or, financial responsibility if in a divorce decree. And also, it's not his kid.
Right. And also, even if he's not married to the wife, or the mother of the child, you know what I'm saying? Even if it's not his kid. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and play a video for you guys just to give you a little background. When I saw this, I ran across it. It was actually on TikTok. And I was like, wait a minute. It's on TikTok? O'Shea and Dennis Sperling? So let me go ahead and bring it up, y'all, so y'all can see it. And I want y'all to take a look at this.
referred to as
that's my
parentage
girl.
by estoppel. Yep, it's referred to as parentage by estoppel. And it happens in a number of US states. California is one of them. I don't know what the other ones are. Take a listen to this lawyer speaking on this topic.
This is what the court said in that November 2015 case. This court stated that given its recognition that a person who is not the biological father of a child may be considered a parent against his will, which means even if you fuss and fight, that ain't not my child. That's not, that's not my child. I don't want to be the parent. It's not that he even volunteered to say, I'm the daddy, call me daddy, call. No, against this will, they made this guy be the dad. Consequently, they burden him with the responsibility of paying child support. So what does this mean for the average brother who's hanging out with a single mom? What it means is, if she can get someone to write a letter or someone to come testify that, he took my child to school, he picked my child up from school, he paid for my child's clothing, he took my child to the doctor, he babysat, he took my child to a baseball game, football game, but he overall spent his time with my child, and heaven forbid, they call you daddy or stepdad, right? So now what have you done? You've basically given them enough facts to at least allege that you've taken on the fatherly role. So when you break up with your ex-girlfriend and you say, I'm done with you, you cheated on me, you broke the windows out of my car, I'm through with you, she can then go find a family law lawyer, present to him that fact pattern, and then what? And then you get sued. You may not even have had a sexual relationship with the woman. That's how expansive this can go.
So even if you're dating a single mother and then you interact with that child in any type of way that appears as if you are a parent, and if you break up, she can then use that against you. And then you may have to pay child support. And if you do have to go to court, and then you end up spending thousands of dollars to try to get yourself off the hook. And I'm truly getting tired of hearing people say that real men will step up and take care of the kids. I'm sorry. If we want to go that route, let's just say a real man knows how to protect himself. A real man is not a fool. People that say these types of things are not aware of the depth in which men are at a disadvantage in the court system. And not every man has the money or capabilities to litigate these types of cases. So if I was a man in the world today, with the way the laws are stacked against men, there's no way I would even come close to a single mother. I'm sorry. There's too many things that can go wrong. False accusations, the potential to pay child support, even if we're broken up. Anyone that has common sense is not going to put themselves in a position to be taken advantage of. At the end of the day, the potential for this to become a lose-lose situation is extremely high.
Everybody's quiet.
Well. So go out. So basically, go out before you start. Lost the trash. We're just gonna throw this in the trash can. Hopefully, nobody throw it back out. Go out and date the single moms. Right. Last week we had Brother Clarence on. Go date those single moms. Redeem them. Yeah. Go ahead and redeem them. And when you don't want to be with them no more and it's not working out, they're gonna take you to court to pay child support on a child that's not even yours.
You know what? Let's go ahead and get some thoughts, some fresh thoughts. We're gonna start with our pain at the bottom this time. Our pain. I see your head bobbing, man. What's on your mind?
Listen, first of all, I have a lot of videos by that sister, Denuette. She's something else. She's
Shout
part
out,
of my. Yeah, she's part of my. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, she's part of my Let the Women Tell It series. I wish I would have found that one. That would have been part of my Monday show. But anyhow, yeah, it's not only that. I heard that before, and I know it's true. And that's why guys like Boyce Watkins are so dangerous and stuff like that. And, not only when you're not married to the chick, but if you're married men, if you're ever married and you're separated, but you fool around and don't get a formal divorce, she can go out and get banged up by anybody, and that kid's going to be yours to pay for. So, that's part of it too. So, if you're going to get a divorce, you got to make sure you get that tie severed And don't wait years, 5, 6 years, 2 years, man. She get pregnant, that kid's yours. You're gonna have to pay. It's called a presumption of paternity. And that's from the old English laws that got carried over. So let me just land it there. This is insidious stuff.
Indeed, indeed. Take heed.
Yeah.
Let's hear from you, Dawn.
So first, I want to say thank God I live in Jersey because some of y'all states is crazy. I've never heard of anybody doing that over here in Jersey, but I don't know if it's on our books over here. But I know we do mandatory paternity tests before child support is given over here in Jersey. So shout out to Jersey. Now, I do know that if you are married and then y'all separate and you go out there and have a baby, the baby is legally your husband baby. Now, that happens. That's here in Jersey as well. But this one, I don't know. This rubbed me the wrong way. I'm surprised. So I've been saying, okay, that 75%, shout out to TJ, that 75% of us are baby mamas, right? And that who else are you gonna date, my brothers? You know, but now I'm looking at it like, my brothers, y'all better run. Y'all better run. Yeah, y'all better run. If she don't have the mindset, and I have to say this part, if she doesn't have the mindset to want change, you know, that she wants to get on your plan. If she wants to get on your plan and she understands the assignment, then I say yes, welcome her. But if she don't understand, she don't want to understand the assignment, she don't want to get on your game plan, leave her. Don't even take it to any type of extreme, just go. Because I'm gonna share something with you, and this is sad to say. It's a lot of them. It's a lot of them. It's a lot of them. So you have the pick of the litter. It's a lot of them. Not all baby mamas is crazy. Some want change, but this right here, this something else right here. They doing some foolery. Do you know how many women gonna get up there and lie with their best friend? The best friend will write a letter to the court saying, yeah, I saw, and didn't even see them together. Yeah, I saw them and everything. The baby was calling him daddy and all this, and write that mess down. They don't care nothing about perjury. They don't care nothing about that. They go to jail and everything. Just sit up there and lie for their friend. Wow, that's something. I'm done.
Thank you, Take Heed. That's why it's real important that you make sure that if you're dealing with somebody, you better make sure it's for real. None of this play action. You know what I mean? Mr. Bennett, what were your thoughts when you first saw that, sir?
Sorry, I was muted. Yeah, it's surprising. I mean, I've certainly heard of the false or the assumption that you're the father, you sign your name on the birth certificate. This is the first time I've heard where simply because you're showing affection or taking on some responsibilities that you can then be designated a father by a court. Fortunately, it's not in every state. You know, again, I'm from New Jersey also, so we don't have to deal with that. But I think it's also the case. I think Pennsylvania, I believe, also has it as well. And so yeah, I mean, definitely depending on the state that you're in, yeah, you need to be concerned about that, and certainly that changes the conversation. So yeah, it's but I think behind this, just as we talk about with all these paternity issues, someone's getting paid from all of this. So again, I think there's an incentive why courts and judges, because they get a percentage of the paternity that the fathers have to, or the estoppel fathers, I'll call it that. That those guys have to pay. So I think as long as there's a financial incentive, it's going to continue. But again, fortunately, it's not in other states. But yeah, if you're in Cali, PA, be warned. And I would certainly, for anybody, I would certainly do research to see if there's other states. That's what I was trying to look up now, see what other states have this. But it seems like California and PA seem to be the only ones I've identified so far. If anyone else has other states that they know of, then it may be worth sharing with the public.
Absolutely. Black man, it's on you, sir.
Well, to answer, can y'all hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right, to answer Mr. Bennett, Texas is working on it now, for sure. I know that Texas is going to have it on the ballot coming up, I think. So I think that Louisiana Mississippi. By 2025, it should be 30 states by 2025. So that's what they're projecting, 30 states by 2025. So just think about that. So you meet a young lady, she has a child, you guys kick it off very well. You buy this kid a toy, right? Because you love the child, you gotta love the mom, you gotta love the child. If you love the mom, you gotta love the child. So you buy this kid a toy, and you buying this kid a Spider-Man toy could lock you in as the father paying child support for the next 16 years. I don't know what's going to happen, guys. This is really going to make it bad for single moms.
To me,
It's
it just seems like it's an agenda, some kind of way.
It is.
You know,
Oh, it's
I really
definitely an
can't figure
agenda.
out what it is.
No, I can.
Yeah, go ahead, Open.
They want to push the money when they cut off these handout programs. They want to push it on men.
So they have a soft landing. Is
Right.
that what that is?
They want to push it on men. So if they cut out whatever child support come from the state, if she doesn't have a man, they could identify a man. That's where they're going to put the bill.
See, Jamie said something. What say, Jamie?
Come on, Jamie. I know you want to jump in there. Come on.
Well, no, I was saying he's correct. So it is to transfer the burden of the single mother or giving them financial assistance to an individual that they may be talking to. It's just kind of like evading responsibility per se. I mean, it's not the child is not the state's responsibility either, right? But because so many people have been dependent on the state is now trying to find a way to say, hey, you know what, y'all gonna have to fix this yourself, but we're gonna push it on you.
Indeed.
And I think it probably will stop a lot of people from having, premarital sex and creating babies once you realize like men are gonna stop laying down, I'm just saying, and possibly creating a single mother or dating one with this type of rule coming, because nobody wants to pay for a baby they didn't make. Not to be
right. And to add to what you just said, Jamie, the father who is laying down with the mama, he really don't have to do nothing. He could get up pregnant, go about his life. She meets somebody else, and that responsibility on that man.
Yeah,
that's what it's looking like.
Unless the state double dip,
there you go. And, hey, Laws, you may be onto something. Put
and we should ship all their toys to Boyce Watkins.
Yeah,
and then make sure, you know what I'm saying, make him responsible for it.
That double dip, maybe that double dip.
Yeah, we didn't think about that, man.
Mm-hmm.
JT, sir, your thoughts, man, on the video, man.
Yeah, so it is an agenda, but I think the agenda is against families. That's what I think the agenda is. I wouldn't think that if this Estoppe law comes in, because isn't it, from my understanding, from what I've read, this is going to be indoctrinated into the common law, right? In most states, not most states, but you have a lot of states that have the common law enactment, right? So from what I'm looking at, that they're going to indoctrinate this inside of that law. That's what it's looking like.
Even if you don't live with them, live with her, you can still be responsible.
So
it's only 7 states left with common law in the United States.
Oh, it's only 7 left. Because it was more than that. It was like 18 or something like that.
Well, that's the last time I checked. It was only like 7.
Right. So it's less and less states that have it. However, it's kind of like that same thing. We already know California gonna have it.
Oh yeah, them the ones leading the charge, man. They got to get money from somewhere.
Hey, you know what? California saying not only are we going to make fathers who are not the fathers pay for the child, but when he neglects the child, we're going to help the mama cut the penis off the son and sew up the daughter. Yeah, they're doing that too.
Yeah. So,
oh yeah.
So I can tell you right now that you're not going to stop men from having sex at a higher rate than what you got right now. It's a lot of men not having sex already.
I got it.
So what it should do is keep a lot of women from wanting to be single mothers. That's what it should do. But it won't do it, at least if you're gonna have to just get the system, the court system out of the way. That's the only way. And then it's going to take about 5 generations in order for that to even happen. I don't see it happening none too soon, because if you understand the laws already for child support, you would have thought that men would stop having a whole bunch of sex with random women. That's not going to happen because it's in our nature. I hear Arpain saying this shit. I try to argue against it.
I'm telling you,
but it's in
it's
our
not
nature,
nature.
and when we say, you know, having discipline and stuff like that, as much as I want to believe that that's what's going to happen, I can't, because it's ingrained in us as men to have sex.
But JT,
But we're not talking about that now.
right? Yeah, they're right. We're not talking about
We
that.
talking about the
But
kids, man.
We talk about this. So if you meet a woman who has already laid down with that dude that you talking about that's out here hit him, ain't got no dick this one, he done already laid it down. She already get government assistance because of him. She getting housing, she getting food stamps, she getting everything the government allows. Now the government is saying, you know what? The next black man you date, let him buy that baby a birthday cake and let him buy that baby a toy. Because as soon as he does it,
Mr. Bennett and BMU, Mr. Bennett and BMU.
Hold on,
that's not the point. That's not the point. The point really is that even if a man knew that the single mom that's fine, that he could get in trouble, he's still going to bet her, even if that's not his kid.
No, we're not talking about
woman's going to always. A woman's going to always.
We're not. But again, the point is not about sex at all.
It's not about sex at all.
You could be, for example, you could be. For example, you could be like
what was said earlier. That's all. I was just answering that it'll make people stop having sex. That's why I said that.
Yeah, but we're talking about again, you being a part of someone's life. Like I'm thinking about black man and what you do. You are in a lot of ways like a father to a lot of these kids.
Oh man! Hey, what's your address, black man? What's your address, man? What's your address, BMU? Let me send you.
I'm just saying. I mean, if that's what we're talking about. We're talking about if you start putting in and investing in a child, spending time. Remember, you used to have Big Brother, Big Sister.
Yes, I was a Big Brother.
MCA.
And so if that's where this is going, you're really going to start seeing a decline in volunteerism.
I'm with you guys now.
That's what I started
out
with saying.
This isn't that's about sex. It's about what you're doing with someone's child. I might not even want to get with you. That's the thing. I don't have an interest. But I see your son. He's in my neighborhood or whatever. It's like, yeah, I'll talk to him. I'll show him how to throw a baseball or whatever. Yeah, I'll take him to the movies or whatever. I'm just chilling. I'm not even trying to get with you like that.
Right. Yeah, so that's
but
what
they could turn around and say that I can be the father. I could be forced to be the father of that kid because I'm showing that kid some care. Then yeah, that's a problem. So it's not.
So that's what I led with. What I was saying that if there's an agenda, the agenda is against family, community. It's against that because now what black I ain't gonna say black women, single mothers are gonna be. Are pretty much what I call a cactus. They're gonna be a cactus. Nobody wants to be around a cactus. Nobody wants to pet a cactus. They're not going to even be taught. It's going to be like they're going to be kind of shunned, and it's gonna. It doesn't look good. It will not look good at all. Especially now, imagine, and if you got comedians and you have people in social media, imagine how that's going to look to be a single mom then. Once it starts to take hold, the what's going to be attached, the negative connotation that's going to be attached to being a single mom.
You can be isolated.
You're going to be isolated. Absolutely.
Well, I think. Do you think we are adopting the Xingnu? Xingnu is something that's in China. Xingnu literally translates to leftover ladies or leftover women. In China, those women are shunned upon, right? It is an embarrassment to even date a single mother in China.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. TJ, I know you are ready to jump in there, sir.
Yeah,
what are your thoughts on this particular situation, man?
Thank you. First of all, do I have to say not all before I get going?
No, we know what's up.
Hell no.
We know what's up, man.
We know what it is.
We're not gonna rake you over
this
the coals.
This is the Black
brother.
Man Unfiltered Network, brother.
Let's go.
I wish that we could stop doing that because the not all. Of course, it's not fucking all. When people go not all, that's just their a way of trying to move the goalposts or the lack of accountability or try to discredit the what's being said. So yeah, so I'm glad I ain't gotta go not all. But listen, this is a problem. I don't know about another group of women, but black women. This is a whole fucking problem because black women are not virtuous. Do I have to say not all? Do I have to say that?
No, you ain't got to say it, man.
They're not fucking virtuous at all. And this whole this construct of these states moving to assigning child support to non-biological parent or the non-biological father is due to the reckless nature of our women in the choices that they make. And I believe in the next 10 to 15 years or so, I believe that this whole welfare system, child support, I think to a degree will all go away. People are fucking tired of paying for other fuckers' kids. I mean, that's just it. And the average black woman has 3 baby daddies. And they're not all. And here's the thing: I heard someone say about men are out here just fucking. Men are not out here fucking. Our women are out here fucking the same guys. So you got these women because you ask a woman, how many other kids does your kid's father have? And most of the women will say to you, oh my God, my kid's father got 1 other kid, 3 other kids, 4 other kids, but you signed up to be motherfucking. Our women are not fucking virtuous at all. At all. And they lack discernment. They lack because you can't tell them anything. But these laws are designed because the system cannot continue to bear the weight and the brunt of all of these fucking children out here without the full support of the actual other parent in there. This is all happening because we've just abandoned marriage, we abandoned responsibility, we abandoned accountability, we abandoned all of this shit. So the other reason why this is happening, and I'm going to let you guys go. The other reason why this is happening is because black men are not willing to be dicks. They're not willing to be dicks. They're not willing to say the hard thing. It's not popular to tell a single mother that your kid only got 1 fucking father and it ain't me. And because we are afraid to get shamed for telling the goddamn truth. And if a guy wants to put himself in that situation or in that position in California where that he participates actively in a kid's life that's not his, and the mother goes after him for child support, that's he bought that. He bought that lock, stock, and barrel. And let's be clear that let's not lose sight of the fact that child support laws, they're not federal. Child support terminology is not broad spectrum. It's very state specific, because in my home state, custody does not mean possession of the child. In my state, custody means decision making. So understand understand what your state law actually, what everything means when you're talking about that. I'm not surprised that this is going to be happening. And the people leading the charge for this is not women, is actually men in these fucking positions. The majority of your lawmakers are fucking men. This is men doing this shit to other fucking men. Period. I think that's all I got to say about this right now. But this is fucking ridiculous, and I tell guys all the time, you got to stop being afraid because you don't want to get shamed, because you don't want to be shamed because a woman going to tell you not a man. How the fuck a woman going to tell you what you are? And how are you going to allow that shit to ride? Because you don't want to be ashamed, because you don't want to be responsible for somebody else's shit. You should not have to be responsible for nobody else's stuff. And for a woman to sit there and think that another guy has to be responsible for another man's kid, she's out her fucking mind. But see, I don't mind being a dick. So
Did you hear what I said?
That's right, TJ.
This is flip the table over, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. That's exactly what it is. Miss Jenny, thoughts?
I find it very interesting. Is this the patriarchy that I keep hearing so much about? Is this the male-dominated society that I keep hearing from these feminists? How men are getting saddled with the payments for other men's children? Is that the patriarchy?
That's
You
what
know,
you're
because it
looking at.
almost sounds like it's a woman benefiting system. It almost seems like we live in a gynocentric society. You know, if I didn't know
Somebody's
any
got
better,
to pay, you know.
if I didn't know any better, it would sound like women are the kind of the ones who are maybe not necessarily making the rules, but things are being done in their favor. Because at the end of the day, either Pookie or Ray Ray are going to be footing the bill. It's not going to be her. And so, this is legislation that indubitably benefits women. It allows them to be as undisciplined as they want to be, because either Uncle Sam or Chad is going to pay for it. I don't have to pay for it. At the end of the day, she's still the one who has to take care of the child, but she's not paying for it, financially. And so I find this very strange. I've never heard of this before tonight. I didn't even know what this title meant. It's like, is that a typo? I don't know what that means, but so I'm glad that I'm being made aware of this. I didn't know that was a thing. And so, it's really strange, because it does seem that it would completely disincentivize men from having anything to do with single moms. Because why on earth? This is like saying that a good Samaritan who comes by at a car crash and tries to help you is not responsible for at fault for the accident. And it's like, whoa, wait a minute. I just came over here to make sure you're all right, and now my insurance is getting involved. Like, it just seems strange. Like, why would you even want to try to burden some random man who's just trying to look out for you to do that? And then it says a lot about the women, because it has to be it's not involuntary. Like, she has to sign up for this. Like, she has to choose to make you pay for this, So it's like, what kind of woman would take a man who is out of the goodness of his heart trying to help you and try to clean up the mess that you made in your own life, and then as a thank you, slap him over the head with like 16 years of child support? It's just, the whole thing is crazy. Like, why would the legislators do this? Why would women do this? Why would men allow this to happen? It's just completely ridiculous. And man, when I hear stuff like this, it just reminds me of the story where I believe it's Ezekiel, and God, he picks him up by his hair, and he starts showing him how he thinks that things are bad, but in reality they're much worse. And he's showing him like how they're making bad sacrifices in the temples, and they're stealing, and they're worshiping other gods. And it's just a story about how God is showing Ezekiel that things are far worse. You think that things are bad, but they're really worse. And so it's like, I'm still over here talking about we need to have mandatory DNA tests, and people are like, it doesn't matter if you have a DNA test or not, because some random guy can just be saddled with it. Good night. Where does it end?
Exactly. Appreciate it, Jenny. Now, finally, we have embraced the Grace. Grace, you on mute. The mute monster got you now.
I'm confused.
You on mute.
You on mute, Grace. Come
Grace,
on.
you on mute. You on mute.
She's just going
Okay.
in,
was
man.
going.
I'm glad I'm last, because I've been busting at the seams, and I wrote down my thoughts. I'm not only confused, but I'm flabbergasted and I'm dumbfounded, because I have a son. So now I gotta go run and tell him, don't date any single mothers. And anybody that knows me, I am a huge conspiracy theorist. Guys, let's really look at it. Like Take Heed said, 80% of women are single mothers. So that's a big money trail to tap into, right? So then we drop to the money trail, and then now we continue to do what? Oppress the Black man and the melanated community. So now we're tapping into the money, we're hitting into vulnerability. And guys, this is why I tell men all the time, you need to protect your money, your seed, and your peace and your last name. And women need to stop having bastard children and require marriage, because now this is going to deter men from dating single mothers. And it's not, at the end of the day, who does it always hurt? The children. Just like somebody said, now you're not going to mentor anymore. I'm here trying to push mentoring, and now this is going to detract from mentoring because men are not going to want to touch it. So now you can't give a child a Christmas gift because you're going to deem the father. This is absolutely ridiculous, and we have to unite and stop this foolishness, because they're going to maintain breaking the family unit. You're going to make another man responsible for taking care of another man's child just by saying you gave him a gift or took him to school? Y'all single mothers are fucked. Because I'm going to run and tell my son tonight, you better not date any single mothers, because I'm not having it. And that's really sad, because there are some good single moms out here. There are some good men out here, but I feel bad for Russell Wilson. He gonna be paying child support for that child, and Future gonna get out of paying child support. So again, gentlemen, this is just another way to oppress the black man, just another way to bring down the community, to drain us of our finances, keep us in jail, keep us uneducated. And when we got to speak up, we got to stop this foolishness. I mean, yes, it's men hurting men, but it's old white men hurting men. And we got to get them out of office. I digress. My mic is.
Embrace the grace real quick. There is an economic advantage for this country to have separate black people, no black families. We are the largest consumer base in the fucking country. It is the country, corporate America is incentivized to keep us apart, and they do it through the legislative process and keeping us away from each other. And then when you out here trying to talk to our fucking women who are fucking hard-headed, they get wrapped up in their feelings, and it's all about them and their fucking feelings, them and what they need, them and what they fucking want, and they're out here aiding the fucking destruction of the family unit.
Can I get one more fucking?
Right, black people our spending power in the United States is more than the entire economy of
$1.8 trillion. I actually did a show on that. $1.8 trillion, and 20% of that is on luxury items.
Yep. And it's more than the economy of Russia, and Russia is a fucking superpower.
And Canada, yep. You're absolutely right, but we don't unite. We don't get together. We're crabs in a pot. We allow people to infiltrate our community and keep us apart, where they keep us away from their community. And they do exactly what they want, and it's all about having power and keeping us oppressed. And if people don't see that, and the reason why women are so fucking in their feelings is because they only see the trees in front of them. They don't look at the whole forest. And that's the problem. We're not in the mentality of it takes a village. It's me, and like my dad used to say, hooray for me and fuck everybody else. And that's the mentality that we move with sometimes.
Can I say
but
something?
Is that part of the quandary, though?
Is that what?
To me, that's part of the at least the counter argument. You just said that we're not thinking community, and there's an incentive to keep us different from one another. But at the same time, and again, I'm just playing devil's advocate here.
I hear you.
At the same time, we're saying stay away from single moms. Again, going back to what my man was saying last week, stay away from step families and coming together.
This is gonna put a bigger, wider wedge between us, Mr. Bennett.
No, the point I'm making is, if there's the push to say we need to come together, and if the reality of our community is that whatever the number that he said earlier, that 75% of black women are single mothers, how are we going to come together if also the point is that we don't hook up with single or women with kids? How does the math add up? You have the general principle, Bennett, we need to come together.
Mr. Bennett,
how does that happen if there's also the same voice that says stay away from single women with kids?
Mr. Bennett,
I'm just playing devil's advocate.
No, I hear you.
Mr. Bennett, the issue is with relation to this law, the issue is because I raised that same question, like, how do you tell a black man who wants a black woman not to date a single mother when 75% of our women are baby mamas? I mean, that's an unrealistic thing. But what is going to make this a bad thing for our women is the fact that you're trying to force these men. Now, it's one thing when you force a man to do something, and another thing when he does it voluntarily. Now, men will come in because black men want a black woman, and all of us, whether we want to admit this shit or not, we're conditioned to accept a single mother because we're all fucking raised by single mothers. So we're sympathetic because we're thinking about our mothers and how we were fucking raised. But when you start talking about, I'm gonna make you be that other kid's financially obligation versus me volunteering for it, that's a different thing. Because now when the state gets involved and says, I'm going to make you, that means my personal freedom. That means if my income goes up, that means it continues to incentivize her bad behavior. Because the other thing that we're not talking about here is with this law, this fucking woman can place multiple men on fucking child support for that one fucking kid. That's the other sword about this. If they can sit there and make laws that if you can come in and be deemed to be the father role, and you got to continue that means multiple men can be placed on, including the fucking father. This is
what else ain't been talking about, Doug?
This is more incentive for our women to not come into cooperation, for them to not be responsible, for them to keep fucking these dumpster fire of men and having babies by them.
So TJ, let me put it to you this way: we gotta, not we have to, but listen, we have to come to the realization that the women who are lost, not coming back into the fold. We need to stop fighting that fight. And when that's one. Two, we have to be innovative, right? Now that we're talking about this particular issue, I would imagine it should start to spread, so we could be a beacon to start spreading the word that there's another danger out there, right? It's not going to just be this panel. We're going to keep talking about it.
Right.
The other thing I say is that this whole notion that 3/4 of our women have babies, but we do know there's a whole bunch of women coming into the fold who don't have babies who are younger. So I think that we need to start looking at strategies for men who want wives, you're still in your 20s, and even if you're older, I'm not talking 60 or anything, but still in childbearing age, to set up those kind of programs where you can entice the women coming right out of college who might want older, more seasoned and more settled men in their lives. Because all this bullshit about they're not mature enough, kiss my ass.
Right.
They're mature enough. If they're over 18, they're mature enough to be married. If they're out of college, they're mature enough to be married. And the Allen Houston, Maya Houston situation told me that, because I challenge the women, I want one woman to come up here and tell me why it's better for her to be a hoe in her 20s than to be married to a man who's settled. Yep. And I ain't get no takers. So we need to start setting up situations where we can entice women coming out of college to look at men who are settled and start to make them married-minded and make being a hoe a dangerous endeavor. You know why? Because we could go on TikTok and we could put 100 women in a row on how sad they are in their 30s because they fucked up their 20s by penile implants. You know, so all I'm just trying to say is just methods around the madness. Spread the word about you're in danger if you start fooling around with single mothers and the other thing. Go ahead.
But go ahead and put that comment back up by Anissa. Go put that fucking comment back up by Anissa.
That's like girl.
Men without kids should seek women without kids. How in the fuck is that possible when only 25% of our women don't have kids and 27% of our women are married?
Though. You got to go younger.
This is crazy.
You got to go younger.
This is an insane. This fucking statement makes no mathematical sense.
But here's my thing.
It's an element that we keep missing fellas, it's an element that they don't want us to talk about that we keep fucking missing.
What's
This shit
that?
is an octagon. This is not bi-directional. This shit is an octagon. We being attacked. The family portion is being attacked by all kind of shit. So this is the one that you guys ain't understanding. Now it's gonna sound funny as hell, but trust me when I tell you this shit is true, truer than what people think it is. What's happening right now is that the biological women are making the trans women look better to men. See, I knew y'all was gonna laugh at it. See, it's creeping up. See, we keep thinking that the shit is the same 2 weeks ago.
No.
Now watch this. And even on that same note, understand that you have the studs that are proud to say that they're a stepdad. And it's more than
Oh,
what
they got
people
something
even
coming
think.
too, man.
So what's happening right now is right. So what's happening right now is that's the other element to this also. You think I'm lying? If you guys look, think about what's happening right now with the younger generation. And I ain't talking about younger like Jazz. I'm talking about the millennials, right? What's happening? What are we seeing right now? These dudes getting caught up with these trans. They ain't even at the thing of outing them no more. These trans are sitting there, and then this is what's the craziest part. Who's calling the trans real women? Real women. Real women are supporting that shit. And you got them coming out more and more. We keep talking about they're only, 1% of the population or 3%. Keep going. Wait till we get the updated stats. You're going to see this community is a little bit bigger than what you thought it was. What we're talking about is the breakup of families from all angles. The Estoppe is one of them. But understand, I'm telling you, everybody know what network we got on there where you have a stud right there, don't even consider herself to be LGBT, but she talks about she's a father or a mother to some kids. She ain't even got no fucking kids. She has never even pushed out of her womb. But she sit back and say that she can talk about being a parent. Now, stepdad or stepmom, whatever the shit is. So now, what they think that they can do is replace the men. Crazy part is they may be able to. Because guess what? People keep growing and getting older, and people keep coming. It's an 18-year-old and a 21-year-old born every hour. And the mindset, we're being further and further, we've been pushed further and further away from what God is. Amen?
Only if
and what knowledge is, right? And what
JT,
knowledge actually is.
I hate
and
to
the
point out
knowledge of self.
JT, I hate to
pushed
point out
away
the
from
obvious. I hate to point out the obvious, but the trans ain't the problem this time.
No, it's not.
No, it's not them being a problem. I said this is a octagon, bro. That is part. If we can sit back and if we keep thinking that ain't we ain't up under attack with that also, y'all sadly mistaken. I'm telling you right now, you have men that's out women to the younger generation.
No we talking about the children. We're not talking about grown
children.
We got a different mindset.
The trans people are more of a threat to women than they are to us as men.
That's what
they
I
ain't
just
really
said.
no threat to women because they can't have no kids.
No.
Men,
That's exactly
men
what I just
want
families,
families, not XX chromosomes.
Well,
listen to what I just said, bro.
Men want families,
if they're pushing us, hold on. If they're going to be pushing us away from single mothers, guess what you can't have with a trans man? Kids.
Yo, but
men want kids though.
They're pushing us away from single mothers, but there's women who don't have kids being born all the time. I mean, you listen, we don't have an epidemic of baby mamas in college. There's no epidemic. If I'm 30 years old and I want a woman without a goddamn baby, I would look at a woman in college. I would look at a woman coming out of school.
Listen, college
when we got college, though, stigma.
College when we were going to college was very, very inexpensive compared to what it is now, and it's getting
women in
higher
college.
and higher, and less people are going to college.
No, there's
More
a
and
lot
more
of
people
women
are
in
starting
college.
to be
There's
on.
thousands of women.
Phoenix
University,
online.
Only pushback I would have on what you're saying is, yes, you have women in college, but fewer and fewer of them are wanting to get married.
But that's not the
until
point.
they're 30.
That's not the point, though. No. Before you go there, I'm sorry, Mr. Bennett. It's not the point whether they want to get married. It's the pool of women that's there. If 75% of women out of college in a so-called real world have got knocked up because they're stupid, because they were whatever they were, in between 25 and 30, and you don't want a baby mama, you got to go younger. That's the only thing you could do.
Right, but if 90% of the women coming out of college or in college and want to get married, that doesn't necessarily have a large pool.
If they say no, they say no. You just like men always offer women deals they can't refuse. I mean, where else you gonna go?
Arpain, here's the issue that I have with that. The younger guys.
I hear you. I'm sorry, Mr. Bennett.
No, you're fine. Here's my thing. My issue with that is the younger guys want families too.
Okay. They need to talk to the women in college.
They actually have more closer proximity to the younger women that they're dating. And they don't have any kids.
But this whole notion that there's no women without babies is some narrative we need to stop saying, because it's not true. You just got to go younger. You can't wait to just say the only pool we can swim in is the one that's tainted. That's not true. It's absolutely not true.
The only
From
problem
18
with that,
to 23, there's millions of women who don't have no kids.
right? But then there's another epidemic, right? When they're calling you,
who gives a shit what they call you?
Right, but I'm
you're not. Call you.
See, Arpain, you're not giving a shit, but these guys do give a shit.
No, they don't. Not if they want a wife.
So hold on. So Arpain, let me tell you something. Can I talk from the youthful pool of interrogation here? So listen, my thing is this. JT does have a point with that. When men go younger, let me tell you about Shannon Sharp. Shannon Sharp was dating Selena Gomez. I don't know if y'all knew that.
Okay.
When Shannon, oh yes. So Shannon
That's
Sharp was
creepy.
dating Selena Gomez, and when he was dating her, they went out to dinner, and he tried to be discreet, right? Let her go to her car first, but they didn't bring his car around fast enough, so TMZ was able to put the cameras in his face. What are you doing here with Selena? Right? He's like, damn, enjoy the show, y'all. Gotta go.
Who sent y'all skip?
But after people skip. But after they found out about that, they went in and he did a whole show about it. And we'll do a show on it if y'all want to. But he did a whole show about it on Nightcap. And he talked about how people are saying that, why would you date a woman your daughter's age? Why would you date a woman that you could be her dad?
You're going to extremes. Everybody ain't Shannon Sharp. The regular average dude between 23 and 30 who might be looking at a 30-year-old man looking for a woman that don't have no kids, you got to go younger. Nobody's going to be with cameras trying to
Arpain, you're missing the point. What I'm even
I'm not. You're talking about Shannon Sharp.
Okay, hold on. So let's take Shannon out of it. There are men right now who are dating younger girls in normal life who work 8 to 5s, and the women are saying he must.
This is shit what the women say.
Hold on. But
you got to.
Hold on, Arpain, let me finish. There are women that say, hey, why you want to date a 20-year-old? You can't handle a woman your own age?
Who gives a shit about that?
Arpain, I understand you haven't dated since the Titanic left the
It has
harbor.
nothing to do with it. Come on, I didn't care about that when I was dating back then. I mean, why would I care about that?
Arpain. Now, when you was dating back
then,
then,
I'm just saying, why would I care about that?
Arpain, but when you were dating back then, a 19-year-old could marry a 14-year-old. Nobody said anything.
No, talk about legal people being you.
They're not getting married.
I'm just saying the average.
I love you, Arpain.
The average father of daughters is not looking or thinking about them. And talk about Americans anyway.
Yes.
African American men are not talking about getting a 30-year-old guy to marry his 18-year-old daughter.
I said 18 or
You
23.
said I know you said 18 to 20. So she's still in the pool. The 18 is still in
everything I say, so y'all can go
even
to the
college. So
extremes.
at least not in college.
Listen, man, you know the chick who married, okay, let's go to the goddamn celebrity. The Marcus Houston married a chick while she was in college. She still got a degree, and she's still on her path. The only thing he saved her from was a whole bunch of illicit Johnsons. I mean, come on.
R-Pain,
Are you out of your fucking mind? Are you crazy?
I'm just saying,
okay?
what the current mindset of I would agree with what you're saying, R-Pain, but this is the thing.
I got a daughter who's 24. If a guy who's 30 years old and he got his shit together, and I vetted him,
18 to 23.
if he wanted to talk to my 24-year-old daughter, I'm not going to say he's too old.
You slide the goalpost.
Right.
I mean, if she was in college, I wouldn't say. No, I still wouldn't say he was too old if I vetted him.
But the thing is this: there's not a lot of people.
22, really.
The mindset of a 22-year-old talking to a 30.
They've been in the world, the internet. They've been around.
Yes, baby, I got a nice hit. Honey. That's called growing up in the projects. 2-piece is flawless, honey. 2-piece is flawless. I still got it. I don't support violence. Take heed does not support violence. Okay.
All right. Listen.
R-Pain, you better
hold on, JT. Hold on a second. JT, what we need to explain to R-Pain is the mindset of the current younger generation that's coming up. These women are focused on
I'm a PhD.
And getting to the bag and getting to their money. You know what I'm saying? Listen, they're delaying families. Okay.
Listen, I'm not saying
living their best life.
And
I'll give you that. Wait a minute.
I know you guys are against me. Can I land? Let me just land the plane here. Let me concede that everything you guys are saying is absolutely true. Okay, because it is, right? But men take pride in picking women out of the pool, no matter what they say.
R-Pain, you
talking
about
hold on for a second. Let me just finish. Before I'm not going to say another word. You guys are talking all kinds of shit with no solution, right? And I'm telling you that the only way you're going to be able to have a pool of women that don't have trauma and babies is you got to go younger, period. Everything else is just bullshit. We're just talking around in circles.
Pain, you're talking to some
you're just talking in circles.
Hold on.
Younger and in
you're
college,
talking
right?
to
You gotta
talking to 50-something-year-olds, and the youngest person
I ain't talking about 50-year-olds. We're talking about married aged men.
Can we just talk for a minute, R-Pain?
Hold on, JT. R-Pain. So I'm 40 and I'm single. I come home with your daughter tomorrow. What do you say?
Most likely, well, first of all, see, again, you guys are going extremes. There's a lot of 30-year-old men who want wives.
Okay, I don't
want to go to the extreme. 40.
I don't want to
go
to the
extreme. You don't have to be 40, man. You guys
you
guys want to prove a point so well. Yo.
Mayday! Will you please learn this motherfucker?
Man. I want to throw out a big
I've never seen that one.
So we can move forward. I want to bring a little light to it so we can move forward. You don't have guys in that pool, R-Pain, that actually thinks like that anymore because of the shaming that they have. It's the R. Kelly shaming that they have out here. You also have women, when they're talking to, you can have a 22-year-old. If she's talking to somebody that's 35 years old, she would call that man sir. She would tell that man that he's too old to be talking to her.
Yep.
They're doing this shit, bro.
Yep.
That's a sugar daddy.
What you're saying.
Yep.
They listen on your show yesterday. Hold on your show yesterday. What were we talking about?
We were talking about. I'm gonna be real. You guys don't want me to talk, okay? You guys, I'm gonna tell you, going to be showing the fucking airplane show.
Blood pressure to get high. You ain't.
I don't want to
well, after the show,
R-Pain, we just don't want you to bloviate, man. Come on, man. Let's get the non-Baptist version.
I'm by myself with a whole bunch of bloviators and shit. So it's just against all of y'all. I mean, you guys posed the problem. Y'all said if a man wants to be married, do 3/4 of the women have babies, and now I'm giving you a fucking solution, and you're beating the shit out of my ass.
It's a proposal. our pain. It's a proposal. It's not a solution because again, like any proposal, it has to be analyzed.
Right.
And what you're asking for is you're asking for a pool. Again, your sides. Look, you work to engineering. You know this. You submit a proposal. It's going to be scrutinized.
So you
before
got
to that's all we're doing. So you're saying the woman that you're talking
and you'll
about.
put the big X on the goddamn
You
thing.
said someone between 18 and 22 and in college. You didn't add that. It has to be. She has to be college because again, there's plenty of 18 to 22 uncollege educated who are having babies. So if you want to exclude the babies, they have to be in college or looking to do something productive, build their careers or whatever. The majority of those women today are not seeking marriage by 18 to 22, and these not black women.
Hold on for a
Now,
second.
white women, that might be a different story. White
We
women
saw
go to
those.
college
We saw
find a
those
husband.
shows with the white women with the rings, right?
I just said that. I just said that. White women, that's a different story. White women, unless you're saying that we need to start marrying white women, is that what you're saying? White college-age women.
Actually, we're talking about shaping and changing minds. If a
How you
man,
gonna do it when you ain't in your baby's house?
every goddamn example you giving me is the men are on the extremes. If I'm 25 to 30, and all the women in my group, 25 to 30, I want to get married. Maybe I don't know if it's 75% of them have babies. I don't believe that number either. But if it's a lot of those women who have babies, and I want a woman without a baby, I'm going younger than 25.
But again, it's not just younger.
I'm looking
Our
close to 22.
Add your criteria. You have to define all your criteria.
Yes.
18 to 22, in college, and marriage minded. The only ones who are doing that are white women and maybe some Asian women.
Yeah, well, so we're saying black women are incapable of being marriage minded in college?
They mamas
The majority of them are not.
They're living their best life. They're going to girl trips.
They're not looking to get married.
I'm a PhD.
I would love it. Look, me, if I could have engineered my daughter's path like completely, yes, I would have had all of them married in college or certainly at graduation.
I was engaged when I was
engineer that. I would have done that.
Yes,
I was engaged, but that was a dinosaur age. We had woolly mammoths and shit walking around.
So you saw T-Rex on campus, right?
You pedal the cars with your feet, right?
So wait, R-Pain, Miss Payne, I got a question. You saw T-Rex walking around campus, right?
Wait a minute. Wait a minute now. Order in the court. Now to address the issue, R-Pain, when you got married, people were getting married at a clip of 80%.
Yeah.
Okay, it's different now. That's all we're saying.
Yeah, 1921 was that shit was
tools that we use and abuse is different. That's all I'm saying.
I don't think it was 80% then.
Well, I got to side with our pain.
Might have been the 60s, but not 87.
But I still think that he's right to a certain degree.
No, I think in theory, like I said, it's in theory. I think he's bringing some very logical points. In practicality, in terms of what the data is actually showing, what the mindset is, I don't think it's practical. I don't think it'll work. But in theory, it sounds good. Look, like I said, I would sign my daughters up for that. Absolutely. But again, these women are not thinking. I talked about on the show the African women that I met recently.
Hold on, R-Pain. Real quick. He has something she wants to slip in there on you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So I just wanna say this real quick to y'all. If the melanated community, right, if we had raised our girls to be wives, we did not raise these girls to be wives.
There you go.
In the melanated community, we have to call a spade a spade. We did not. So when you see the Caucasian young women that's at graduation and they got rings on their finger, it's because their mothers, their grandmothers, great-grandmothers raised them to be wives. He did not do that. Now, I'm not comparing. It's just that that's what they said earlier, that Caucasian girls are having
I said that.
ring at the time. That's why I'm only suggesting that
part. But can I get something? Just because we didn't do it in the past.
Only why
let's let her finish.
Only why I'm saying that, I'm sorry. Only why I'm saying that is because We did not raise them to be wise. We did not. If you look at it, like they will go from college 18, right? 18, they'll be in college. Then when they get out of college, the first thing they focus on is their career. They're focused on a career. Now, even what's this child name? Ebony K. Ebony K was telling the young girls a couple months ago, she retracted her statement. She was like, while you in college, work on trying to secure the ring. Work on trying to secure a family. She's telling them that now. But this was the mindset that our mothers were supposed to tell us. This is where the disconnects come in. Now, don't get me wrong. I agree with you on the part that marrying young is good. I agree with you on that part. But we got an 18-year-old in here, and she's not even thinking about marriage.
Can I say this, Takey? Can I answer before you go any further?
Let her finish. Let her finish, Arpain. Are you finished, Takey?
I'm sorry. I mean, I got the point, right? Go ahead. I mean, I got your point.
I just want to let her finish her thought.
Go ahead. If you got more, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. You got it.
No. You sure? I mean, because I got your point. The point is, we're talking about going forward, right? I understand the mistakes we made. I'm talking about going forward. Just like I had to show just my daughters, right? When they went through college, I said, you're never going to have a greater pool of men to put in your Rolodex than when you're in college. I told them that. I said, hey, listen, this is where these guys are all upward mobile. They're looking for different things. So I told them, if you found one, great. They didn't find one, but if they did, great. These guys, my youngest daughter still hangs out with a whole bunch of other college friends. So I'm not saying what we did in the past, because we know what we made a mistake. I'm saying in order for us to correct it, we got to tell our ladies, you could be educated, you could have a degree, and you could find a husband. In college, you don't have to get married in college, but you could have the man.
I'm a PhD.
Set up in college. How come, there's a whole bunch of athletes coming out of college with women on their arms that they're marrying.
But the
you guys are trying to tell me that we don't have a solution if we can't go younger. That's what you're telling me. You're getting my ass
the mindset of the young women has to change.
We gotta change it though.
But the problem is
change their mindset by just telling them what they can do.
No, I mean, not me. The mothers. We gotta. I mean, you guys are okay. So there's no solution to this shit. That's what you're telling me.
Solution. But the thing is that okay? I have 3 girls in this house, right? I'm raising them to be wives. Even the one that is 18, raising her to be a wife.
Okay.
But I'm not talking. I can only talk for my own household. Okay. Our 18-year-old, she knows she's going to be a wife. She knows she's going to school, and she knows she's going to do the right thing and to eventually be married. But it will not be in her late 20s. She already knows this because she was grown. She was raised around her father. She was raised in a stable home. So she knows this is her idea. This is what she has to do. She even put it in her mind, I'm going to get married. But 18, she's not thinking about that now. She knows she's going to get married.
I keep trying to go to the extremes, man. I mean, listen, if she finds a man in college, are you going to tell her not to get married? If she finds a man in college, are you going to tell her not to marry him?
Let me say this real quick.
I mean, so that's what I'm talking about.
Well, real quick,
I'm saying that not every young girl, I'm sorry, guys.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Not every woman at 18 will understand that. That's what I'm saying. Even if you try to tell her, it's only going to be up to her. Because let me share something with you. If you push a young woman, I'm not saying we do, but if you push a young woman into marriage, I'm going to share something with you. That's what's going to happen.
I know you can't.
She going, especially, and this, let me share something with you. If you push her into marriage while she's young, once she gets some age and that man she married get a little older, she's going to start mistreating him. She's going to break the marriage. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. If you get her and she doesn't understand anything about marriage, about structure, about family, she's going to destroy the home.
Okay, so what else she gonna learn that if she doesn't get married? How's she gonna learn that?
Arpain. Let me tell you something real quick, Arpain. Real quick. Can I just go uninterrupted for 30 seconds and everybody else can have it?
You go. I mean,
what I want to say, Arpain, is this: it's a cultural difference, and the cultural difference is Ebony K. Williams, as Take Heed has stated. She said when she was at home, her mother knew her potential. She knew how smart she was. Her mother told her, when you go to college, don't you be in no boy face. Don't you have no boys dating you. They're going to distract you. You don't need a husband. You need to go get your education and be successful. Right? Yeah. She said she went through school. She met this guy who was amazing. He was in law school doing the same thing she was doing. He wanted to date her. She said her mother's advice took precedent over that. She did not date the guy. She's seen the guy years later. He's now married, has a family, has his own law practice, probably making $7-8 million a year. He's very successful. She said she missed out on a prize because her mother said that. Now, she said when she went to law school, there were not many black women there. So she looked at the white girls, and the white girls who were in law school, who graduated and who are now lawyers as well, their mothers told them, get your ring before spring. And those white girls, and she said before she graduated, all the white women in her graduation class were married before they even became juniors in college. They were married. So my thing is this: when you grow up, when the culture teaches you, and your mom and your grandmama and auntie them teach you one thing, and it sticks with you, and they instill that in you from a child all the way up to an adult. And they send you off into the world, you're living in that mentality, and the woman is saying, I want to be successful.
You know what? I thought I had a better command of the English language. I'm not talking about the fucking past. I'm saying, how are we gonna fix it? You know, everybody keeps telling me what everybody else did in the past.
You ain't gonna fix it,
I'm saying, if we don't change the way we talk to them, if we don't change the way we talk to them, it's not gonna get fixed in the future.
It's not just. It's more than just that, Arpain. It's more than just that.
No, it's not. I mean, we sit down and tell why we can't tell our fucking kids to get married in college. That's what you're all telling me. I don't give a shit if people rejected it before. I mean, what the fuck does that have to do with the future?
Arpain, I'm gonna do you a favor. Arpain, I'm gonna do you a favor. I'm going to go. I'm well in the community here. I'm going to go find girls who are in college. I'm going to go to my church, and I'm going to randomly pick all the graduating class of the girls that are in college between the ages of 18 and 23, and I'm going to do a panel, and you're going to co-host with me, and I'm going to ask the questions that you're presenting right now, and I'm going to prove to you where their mindsets are today.
You on mute.
You're on mute, Arpain.
They don't need a man.
You're on mute. God got you muted because you're talking crazy.
You're on mute.
Black man just laid the small joker down. You got the big one.
God put you on mute, Arpain.
He has spoken.
God put you on mute.
Slam that joker down, man. You got the big one on that.
Am I on mute?
He has spoken.
Arpain, you're on mute.
Peace of love, man. Peace of Pan-Africanism. Peace of Pan-Africanism, man.
I got you, Arpain. We're gonna have a show, okay? We're gonna do that.
Slam the little joker.
Listen, here's my thing, man. The greater question is, how can we teach
the hell out of me, man?
Listen, how can we teach our children or the younger adults if we get penalized for being there for them? And that's the whole purpose of this live. You know what I'm saying? Parentage by Estoppe, right? So you're asking guys to come in to change the mindsets of these younger women, and they're going to be saddled with, the problem of being a default dad. You see what I'm saying? And that's the issue that we have. It's not the fact that you're wrong, Arpain. You're absolutely right. You should marry younger. Right. You know what I mean? You should do that.
With that.
Right. But my thing is this: how do we change the mindset? Because I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. The younger guys, they've already made up on their mind. They don't want to have nothing to do with this.
Right.
Period.
Right.
Good evening, fellas. Good evening, fellas.
Gen Z guys said they don't want to have nothing to do with this at all. Whether it's the girls their own age or women that's older than them, they don't want to have nothing to do with that.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got the older guys who are saying that, hey, I don't want to have no part of this either. You see what I'm saying? So what's going to happen is that the men are going to have to elevate their standards to say, if I'm going to entertain a woman, there's certain things that have to come together. You can't do this and you can't do that because the stakes are now higher for men. And I'm thinking that's probably the whole purpose of this legislation, to say, hey, look, you know, if you're going to date somebody, you're going to be responsible for them. We're going to end this right here and there. But guys are too smart. They're going to be like, tell you what I'm going to do. I just won't date.
They're gonna start dating.
I won't date you.
They're gonna be starting.
I won't date you.
I
I
a
won't.
whole bunch of
Think
people
about it,
talking
man.
about Charles.
Think about it.
Good evening, fellas.
Hold on a second. Let me finish. Even if they get married, they're getting divorced at a clip of 70 to 80%.
Yeah.
So how do you fix that? You know, you marrying younger ain't gonna fix that. This
No,
the
no,
mindset
Mr.
that has to be fixed.
Mr. Penn, hold on. Mr. Penn, hold on.
I'm not gonna say nothing else. Go ahead, man.
Ladies,
I got something. I got something to say.
Welcome to the show, sir. And
Yeah, how you guys doing? How you guys doing? How you guys
What's
doing?
going on, Lost
I'm doing good.
Translation?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Because I got to say one thing. I'm very disappointed in all of you except one person, and that's Mr. Payne. All of you disappointed me so much. The reason why I say you disappointed me is that for the past how many years you guys have been talking about, oh, women this, women that, and a man came out today to give you solution, and you all shut him down.
It ain't a solution. Because it ain't a solution.
Because he gave you guys solution. That's the solution you've been looking for. This is the problem. This is the problem. When you call a black woman and she say, "Oh, man ain't shit," and then you gave her the man that is shit, and then she doesn't want the man that is shit. People ask for something.
Talking about, man.
But you gotta listen to me to see what I'm talking about. Because guess what? Guess what? You want to talk to those kids? It comes from their mother. Their mother got to talk to them.
So if you listen, have you guys? This is what I'm asking. Have you guys talked to these folks? Have you talked to the 22-year-olds, 24-year-olds, 25-year-olds, the 30-year-olds, women and men? If you did, then you will understand what our pain is talking about. That is a process that you got to get back to. Yeah. They don't have that in them. What they got in them is baby mama, baby daddy culture. What they got in them is don't trust women, don't trust men. Fuck niggas and hoes, 304s. What we're talking about, our pain, and what you're saying, I don't disagree, and I don't think anybody on the panel disagree. But what we're telling you is that what you're talking about is so far-fetched because the mindset of these folks, by large, nationally, is not.
So you're saying don't do anything then. You're telling me don't do anything. No, you're telling me that we can't start a process of changing minds. But you're telling me
I put it like this. How about?
Yeah, I mean, well, listen, I don't want to. We don't have to go retract. What you're telling me that is hopeless. That's
I ain't got to tell you nothing. All
you
gotta do
is
talk to the kids. Talk to them.
Going back in the
put them up on the panel and let's have a conversation with them. And watch what we have.
If we get people to start talking, changing the narrative, that's how you change minds. It starts with a bubble. It starts with a blip.
I don't think anybody disagree. Hold on. I don't think anybody. Hold on.
No, you guys just ripped my ass.
But guess what? You ripped him apart. If you rip him apart, that means you disagreed.
Hold on.
You disagreed, JT. You disagreed.
Hold on, no, I don't.
I've been listening to you guys for the past 1 hour, for God's sake. And I had every single one of you disagree with it. And you guys always say, I don't disagree. And then you turn around and disagree with him right away. Go ahead, JT.
Let me explain
JT,
this.
hold on, JT, hold on a second. First of all, hold on, JT. Wait. JT, wait a minute. Ikene, let me ask you a question. Did you watch the show from the beginning, sir?
I've been watching you guys for the past 1 hour. Look at my test. I've been watching you guys from the beginning of the show.
Okay, let me ask you this. Did you watch the video that we just showed?
I watched the video, but I watched only halfway because I was talking to somebody listening to the video at the same time.
Okay, let me ask you a question. What did you think about the video that was shown? Because that's the topic.
The topic is this, right? When you guys play that video, it's saying something from what I deduced, that the kids today are not wanting to get married while they're in college. They are trying to
talking, man, and you shut the fuck up.
All right, Ikene, and hold on a second. Hold on a second. In order to make sure that we're on the same page, Ikene, and to be fair, I don't want you to just. I don't want you to be talking out of spirit. I want you to talk from what we just saw in the video, because what's going to happen is we're going to
replay that again to refresh my memory.
Yeah, I'm gonna refresh your memory because I don't want you. Hold on a second, y'all. Let me finish. Let me talk, y'all.
You my man, man.
Hold on a second, y'all. Let me talk. Listen, let me talk, and I'm gonna go ahead and play the video, Ikene, and I want you to tell me exactly what you think, okay? Because to be fair, I want to make sure that you have all the information, okay?
Two eyes.
All right, now here we go. Here we go. Hold on a second. Let me make sure we get.
I'm gonna only listen to it. I'm not gonna only watch it. I'm gonna listen to it.
Yes,
that's cool. It's my girl right here.
All right, here we go. Now let me make sure I blow this up where you can see it, okay?
Referred to as parentage by estoppel. And it happens in a number of US states. California is one of them. I don't know what the other ones are. Take a listen to this lawyer speaking on this topic.
This is what the court said in that November 2015 case. This court stated that given its recognition that a person who is not the biological father of a child may be considered a parent against his will, which means even if you fuss and fight, that ain't not my child. That's not, that's not my child. I don't want to be the parent. It's not that he even volunteered to say, I'm the daddy, call me daddy, call. No, against this will, they made this guy be the dad. Consequently, they burden him with the responsibility of paying child support. So what does this mean for the average brother who's hanging out with a single mom? What it means is, if she can get someone to write a letter or someone to come testify that, he took my child to school, he picked my child up from school, he paid for my child's clothing, he took my child to the doctor, he babysat, he took my child to a baseball game.
I remember this. I remember watching this video. Don't have to play it all the way. I remember.
Call your daddy or stepdad, right? So now what have you done? You've basically given them enough facts to at least allege that you've taken on the fatherly role. So when you break up with your ex-girlfriend and you say, I'm done with you, you cheated on me, you broke the windows out of my car, I'm through with you, she can then go find a family law lawyer, present to him that fact pattern, and then what? And then you get sued. You may not even have had a sexual relationship with the woman. That's how expansive this can go.
So even if you're dating a single mother and then you interact with that child in any type of way that appears as if you are a parent, and if you break up, she can then use that against you. And then you may have to pay child support. And if you do have to go to court, and then you end up spending thousands of dollars to try to get yourself off the hook. And I'm truly getting tired of hearing people say that real men will step up and take care of the kids. I'm sorry. If we want to go that route, let's just say a real man knows how to protect himself. A real man is not a fool. People that say these types of things are not aware of the depth in which men are at a disadvantage in the court system. And not every man has the money or capabilities to litigate these types of cases. So if I was a man in the world today, with the way the laws are stacked against men, there's no way I would even come close to a single mother. I'm sorry. There's too many things that can go wrong. False accusations, the potential to pay child support, even if we're broken up. Anyone that has common sense is not going to put themselves in a position to be taken advantage of. At the end of the day, the potential for this to become a lose-lose situation is extremely high.
Now, while we ponder on that, I want to get these super chats out the way real quick, brother. Lost in translation. We got the Real Vibrato Network, something for the collection plate. Thank you so much, my brother. I appreciate that with a $10 super chat. We also got Scorched Earth 824. $2 super chat. Why are y'all arguing with Moses? Oh my God.
Yo, you're so wrong, Scorched Earth.
Yeah, we got Big Ant 11 with the $10 super chat. He said, just wanted to say what up to the panel and what the hell is in that cup Pain is drinking from. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna give y'all a little something, and then after that something, we'll go ahead and get Ikene's comments on the video. Here we go.
Right. Oh, let me slow it down. Rapping with the singing, I be spinging. You can get it all free like welfare. Yeah. Back to the beginning. Know what I told ya. I got 2 degrees. Now I'm dumb rich. This sound like some 718 shit. The living weirdo on the same shit. Damien, let's go violinist.
All right. Now, she said, why can't you guys travel to have workshops, teach young men how to be more productive citizens and talk to them about life? Yeah, we do that. But again, you'll get in trouble if you do. So that's the whole nature of this conversation. So, Ikene, if you are still here, sir, I would like to get your opinion on what the video you just saw. You're on mute, sir.
My bad. Sorry about that, guy. Yeah,
All right.
I'm still here. What I got to say is this, right? Like what she said is correct. I listened to that earlier. I didn't know that I thought you guys already diverted away from that stuff. But what I got to say is this: you guys, let me put it this way. If you take up somebody's child and you want to raise him by yourself, you sign up for that deal. And if you want to be a baby dad, if you want to be a stepfather and you don't have your own children, but you want to raise somebody else's child, and you take them to school and you help out in all these things that have to do with daddy's duty, well, in California, if they put you on child support, it's your fault, it's your problem, because you signed up for it. But the way you should do it is this: you should have mind your damn business and get a woman and get somebody that can have your own children, and you take up the parental duty of your own children and raise your own children and pay for your own children and have everything, your resource go towards your own offspring, and you do what you got to do by being there for your kids. But if you said no, I want to be an honorable man and do the honorable stuff while somebody else is dishonorable, and wouldn't only plant a seed but won't water the seed, won't raise the seed, won't make the seed mature. But you that doesn't have any business being there, want to be there and be all masculine, good luck with it. It's your fault.
Thank you, Ikene. Antoine, sir, welcome to the show. I would
Thanks,
love to
guys.
get your
I
opinion.
just got off of work.
Go ahead, sir. I would love to get your opinion on this, and then after that, Scorcher.
Okay, well, this was my first time seeing that video, and it sounds like a lot of these states are trying to expand the bastard laws they have on the books, because a lot of these states did have them on the books because they felt like no child should not have a father, and I feel like that's what they're doing. It looks like they're trying to expand on it to where, okay, biologically you're not the father, but in the eyes of the law, you are the father because you took on that responsibility. I remember hearing about a case. I remember hearing about something like this sometime back in another state where, well, but that's besides the point. But I just feel like you're not going to fix this overnight. And I heard what RPN was saying. A lot of this stuff is not going to fix it overnight. And it's going to be difficult. It's going to be challenging. And I remember something my wife was telling me. One of the things that she always taught our daughters and our nieces is don't depend on the man financially. And one of the things that I did with my daughters and my nieces, I kept it 100 with them. If you're not ready to be a parent, don't allow a man to finish up inside you. And I told my nephews the same thing. If you're not ready to be a father, don't let a woman say it's okay to shoot up all inside her. If you're not ready for the responsibility, do not put yourself in that situation. Plain and simple. It's just,
Antoine, that's great advice, but we're talking about people who are not even having sex. This is just somebody who's dating somebody.
It's damn.
Exactly.
That's the challenge, because
that's what I'm talking. That's why we in here flipping tables tonight, man.
Like it's a challenge to find someone that doesn't have kids. I remember when my wife and I started dating, my wife was shocked that I didn't have kids at my age. And surprisingly, I was shocked that she didn't have any kids at her age when we started dating. Like, it was like, holy shit. There's actual individuals in their 20s, in their 30s who don't have kids. And it's like, before that wasn't that was the that wasn't the exception. That was the rule. How is it that this is now becoming the exception? Like, how is this now starting to become something that's very rare? And it's almost like, okay, what the fuck happened and how did we get off this path in some way, shape, or form? Like, how is it that we're okay with someone like with someone being 15, 16, 17 years old, being a parent for the first time, whether it's a young man or a young woman? Like, how is it that it's okay? Is it well, excuse me, it's seen as acceptable? Like, what are we like? What happened? Where did we go wrong? What did we do wrong? What didn't we do enough of? And now we're realizing it. We're looking at the situation. And it's something I remember saying in the chat. You got some people that you have some women that prefer to be a baby mama than a wife. You got couples who rather play house instead of building a home. And it's like, how do you tell young people you got to start raising your standards? And to me, I feel like you got to lead by example. If you already set that example, then you can teach or mentor young men and young women and let them know, if you do not want to be put in these situations, or you don't want to be allowed in these situations, or if you don't want to get involved with someone that has a situation like this, you have to know what to do and how to avoid it and how not to be put in that situation. And I feel like that's not being taught to a lot of these kids. That's not being explained to a lot of these kids. I feel like some parents are too busy trying to be their kid's best friend than be the parent. And I feel like that's where it starts. And it's not going to happen. It's not going to be fixed overnight. It's not. It's going to take, it's going to take a significant amount of time. I don't know how long it's going to take.
It's going to take decades and generations.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. And it's like, at the same time, we're trying to empower young girls and young women to, get your education, build a career. We're teaching them how to go after all those things, but we're not telling them you can have that and still, if you want to get married and if you want to date and get married, have a family, we're not teaching them how to balance it. We're not teaching our. Say again.
We're not even teaching. The thing is that we're not, as a whole, teaching family. We're not. I've been on this on doing this damn social media shit for a very long time. I've asked grown people, what is a feasible age to get married? And I also asked, what is a feasible age to have children? They would say that a feasible age to have children is 30 to 35. And they say a feasible age to get married is whenever you feel like you love somebody. Or if they give you an age, it's going to be 35 or 40 years old. This is what they're saying. When I ask people, grown people, what were you taught about sex? And what are you teaching your children about sex? Crickets. That's what you get. A bunch of nothing but chirping ass crickets. This is where we have the problem at. This is why I said to our pain that, listen, we understand the ideology, but we can't give them that ideology when the majority of our people in these communities aren't teaching it. We have not taught it, period.
But here's the thing, JT. I don't think that people, even if they don't teach it, the law's going to teach them. You know what I'm saying? If you don't go out and you do the right thing, you got child support waiting on you. If you get divorced, you got alimony waiting on you. And if you date somebody who got kids, guess what? We got some of this Estoppe action waiting on you. So whether you learned it from somebody or not, you still going to pay. Scorch
you
Earth,
still gotta
let's go
put it
ahead,
with
sir. And
principles,
I'm
though,
gonna go ahead and
right?
get
Yeah.
Scorch Earth in here
That-
too.
Oh, I was going to say
Good
something.
evening, everyone.
What's up, Scorch Earth? Talk to us, man.
From someone who actually lives in California and been seeing this thing go down for the last 15 to 20 years, y'all shouldn't be surprised. As the old saying goes, as California goes, so does the United States. This all started years ago, way back in 2006. Heck, the reason why we got this alphabet community having all the power that they have, blame good old California for that. When we struck we struck that marriage act down that they had going on, them goddamn Hollywood people turned around and went to the Supreme Court and fought it. That's how it got
Preposition
turned
9.
around.
Preposition 9. Preposition 9.
Yeah, that see, we shouldn't be shocked about this. Time's up. Me Too movement. All these things that came after all these men, these quote unquote powerful men, talking about what they done decades ago. And now we sitting up here wondering what the hell happened now that they done came up with this. This thing been going on in California for years. Back in the day if you would go to court and it was found out that you was not the baby of the father, you was not the father of the baby, California would still make you sit up there and pay child support because of the fact that you didn't check it quick enough. So this is nothing new. This is nothing more than another ploy for them to generate more money and to have more control. Too many people are leaving California because California the politicians out here done set up there, done ran out the businesses. They ran Hollywood up out of there. When now Hollywood to move to goddamn Georgia and all the other states out there where it's cheaper for them to film. They done move these illegal immigrants out here, give them free health care and money to sit up there and buy homes. Where the people that actually working for a living and paying taxes, we paying up the giraffe's neck for health care. So this is nothing more than a ploy for them to get more for them. And I'm telling you, the minute California's been doing it for years, this is nothing new. It's just starting to go. It's starting to escalate further out into the other states because now everybody's complaining about trying to scrounge up money that they don't have.
Absolutely. Mr. Bennett, before you go, I want to go ahead and get your opinion on this. From what you've heard so far, what's on your mind? What are your thoughts?
I think I shared most of what I said earlier. Like I said, I don't, like I said, from a theoretical or just ideal, like I said, I definitely agree. I think folks should definitely marry sooner. And I think that needs to be certainly ingrained, and certainly, our kids learn both best from the parents. So I'm all for that. I'm just saying, just with the current climate, if you want that type of person, even in the colleges, again, they're being taught something else, or what you might have sent them to college with, they're going to come out with different, sometimes with different values than you. But going back to, again, the original topic, my main concerns are, we talk about this idea that the community has to come together. And I think there was a time, maybe not in all areas, but in the rural South, where you had, again, blended families. We're all coming out of slavery and all that kind of stuff. People got together, whether it was your kids or not, your family reunion. You had people at your family reunion that you weren't even related to, but they were still part of the family.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a point in time where Black people got together for the sake of building a community, and folks were just grafted in. So this isn't foreign to us. But now it's like we got into this point now where we're so opposed to trying to come together. The attitudes of women in terms of not needing a man, or the attitudes of men not wanting to hook up with a woman with that. Someone's going to have to make both men and women are going to have to make some decisions. If we're going to try to come together, and if you say we don't have a community, if we're going to have one, then people are going to have to decide. If we know that all these actions are meant to keep us apart, then we're going to have to get together. And that's not always going to be with the young single woman with no kids. And again, if we talk about the long-term effect on the society where you have these boys are being raised without fathers, they're either going to be victims of the penal, the prison industrial complex, or they're just going to be a drag on society. Are we, we have to make some decisions, but the math has to add up. So again, I'm not opposed to blended families. Yeah, you want to do the Brady Bunch thing or the his, hers, and ours sort of thing, or just folks just getting together. But again, the attitudes have to change in order for us to do that. And I don't know if that will is there at this point. I certainly think that we should talk about it more. But again, the ones who are, as our pain says, can't be saved. I don't know if we could do anything with them.
That's a lot of people that can't be saved.
But I think there's a good base that is, and I think if people are looking to get together to try to make something work, I think those people need support and not shame nor criticism, because again, it's getting dire out there, and we need this is going to be on a spectrum. Single men, single women getting together, that's the ideal situation. Blended families, while not perfect, it's still something that, if we want to have something and not pay the cost later, that we may have to reconsider. But again, women, y'all have to get out of this energy that men aren't this or whatever, or not willing to live with a man. And men, you're going to have to step up and stop making bad decisions in terms of who you decide to hook up with. And I do not accept the idea that, well, it's in our nature to do X, Y, and Z. There's a lot of things that are in human nature that laws and traditions and religion and all these things look to squelch all the time. So I'm not one of these guys who thinks, well, we're ruled by Johnsons and that just takes precedence over everything. No, we need to make better decisions. Women have to make better decisions. And a lot of us are going to have to make the decisions that, are we going to try to make something work? It may not be ideal, but it's got to be better than what we're doing right now. But for the immediate, what I am concerned about, because again, I know a lot of brothers who pour into young black boys in their neighborhoods. Like I said, big brother, big sister program, coaches, mentors, all kinds of things. And I would hate for that kind of interaction that has helped so many of our young men become producers in our community. I would hate for that to be affected, because brothers are afraid that if I start pouring into a young man, that I'm going to be hit with the father label. So I hope this doesn't spread. If it's going to be in 30 states by 2025, I think that's dangerous. I think you're going to, certainly quell it out of that volunteerism that black men have repeatedly done. And that's one thing I will not accept. Also, this idea that black men are, don't want to be involved. There's a lot of men who are involved in a lot of communities, especially with youth sports and coaching and mentoring. And I would hate for that avenue to be shut off because of some laws where people are just trying to get some money off of try to get more money out of the system. So that's all. That's all I want to say on that. But
appreciate it, Mr. Bennett.
Again, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate the panel tonight, and I'll still be listening. I just got to get ready for tomorrow. But again, Miss Jenny, happy anniversary, happy third. You're pumping this thing still. You got some knowledge. But, just keep doing what you're doing, and just again, one season at a time. All right, season 4. So already plan your season 4. All right, get some new draft picks, trade some players or whatever, get ready for the new season, clean your closets out one season at a time, and keep on pushing. But congratulations again, and God bless. Good night,
Mr. Bennett.
Yep.
Exactly. Can Jenny go a little bit? Because
I'm about to give one. I'm gonna get Miss Jenny on here. I got something I want to ask her. Okay, but I want to get Grace in here since she's looking so comfortable, and then we're gonna get Jenny next. Since she's single, okay. Now this is America, okay, and we talking about flipping tables, okay. Say for instance, you got with a man and he has a kid. All of a sudden, y'all break up, and he says you were like a mother to his son, and now you have to pay child support. How would women today feel about it if the shoe was on the other foot?
Ain't gonna happen.
You already know how that's going to happen, because we barely want to do now anything for the children of our men. Okay, so that's going to even deter more women not to date men with children. I raised 3 boys that don't belong to me. Until this day, they still call me on Mother's Day, and I have a relationship with them. But I know if I was told that I had to pay child support,
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
you
the
got to
courts
pay.
called you and told
Yeah.
you
then
that
I
you
would
had to pay.
I won't date a man with kids anymore. Then that's
But
it.
but what about the community? You know, we were just talking about for the men, you know what I'm
What
saying? What
about the
about these
community?
poor boys who need a mother? You know what I'm saying? And now that you stepped up to be their mother and the
Look,
daddy was out
I'm
here
about to be
cheating
50
on you,
this year.
you know
I'm
what
looking
I'm
on
saying?
being a grandmother, let alone being somebody mama. I'm gonna be
I'm already
somebody nanny.
I'm already a grandfather. I'm already a grandfather. Embrace. There
Hey,
ain't nothing wrong with that.
but I'm just saying
But
if she's dating and now you know this person has a young child,
date
you
with
know,
somebody with kids over 18. That'll be my rule. Then
that'll
I'll
be your
date
rule.
somebody. You can have kids as long as they're over 18.
Well, you can't help who you love. You know what I'm saying? You can't
Oh,
Shit.
help it.
but you don't know. Shit.
Shit. Shit, I can help it.
That ain't love,
At
that's
50
lust.
years old, at 49,
But
you
hey,
can
you got
control some stuff.
listen, Grace. You got a letter in the mail that says since you've been a mother to these 3 boys, you got to pay. You know what I'm saying? How did that make you feel? You
That
got to
makes me
pay.
feel fucked up. But if that's what I have to do and that's the law, I still have love for them, then I'll have to do it. Yeah, I mean, but I just don't think it's right that you got to be forced. I did it out of love. I did it because I wanted to, but to be forced,
Yeah.
that's sad. And it's really going to separate us even more than what we're separated now. And that's the point that they are trying to do to us in this community to keep us separated. That's the whole agenda. And
But
we got to understand.
you got bills too. Embrace the grace. So I mean, you got money to lend like that. You know what I'm saying? To just give out freely. You know.
I'm not happy about it, but they're all over 18, Lit. I'm good. Only my son turns 18 in 2 weeks, and then he's done too.
Oh, so we get to pick, huh? Okay, I understand. So the answer is to make sure you date somebody who got kids that's over 18 and you can't get the laws put on you. Well, I'll put it to
Yes,
like
sir.
this. Somebody who
At
wants kids is
49
not
years
gonna
old, yes, sir.
listen. Some people who
Hey,
don't
Lit.
have kids are not gonna wait until your kids turn 18. You know that, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
You know that, don't you? They're just gonna move
But
on to somebody else.
I hear you, but mine does turn 18 on April 9th, so he
Just
don't even have to worry about getting caught
for
up
the
with
average.
child support.
Well, I'm talking about for the average woman. That's that situation.
They
Jenny,
always got back child support, so watch out for that.
yeah, they'll come back
That's
Oh,
for you
true.
too.
That is true.
I'm moving to Jamaica.
Get your social security, all of that. Miss Jenny, Miss Jenny, what are your thoughts, man? What if they flip the tables on you and say, "Hey, you know what? Listen, you got to pay for these kids. Even though you've been a mother to them."
I mean, yeah, I mean, I would absolutely cut off all of my friends that had kids. I wouldn't even take the risk because, yeah, especially in this economy, what? Yeah, absolutely not. Under no circumstances would I put myself in a situation to end up being financially responsible for some children that aren't mine. Because we're all talking about, the kids that aren't his. What if he has his own kids? What if he has his own family and he's already paying for kids and raising a family? And now because he was looking out for you, now he's been saddled with this extra burden. And how many kids is there a limit to? What if she has 4 kids that you've been looking out for? Are you now saddled with all of them? I mean, where
Can't leave them out now. One
Fuck
you got to
them
do for one, you got
kids.
to do for all.
Fuck
That's
them
true.
kids.
it
That's
is
true.
so crazy.
Oh,
Now,
I mean,
someone else
I
mentioned
think y'all missing a point though.
Hold on a second. Let her finish.
Honest.
Let her
Yeah,
finish.
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say that I don't know if anyone, if we ever actually got an answer for this, but if a man is already paying child support for that child, does that still apply, or is it just gonna be added on, or is he gonna get taken off? Like, because there are a lot of kids who are already getting paid for, so it's like, what is that gonna happen with that?
But
But I think it only
I think
applies.
that thing is, I think is ingrained, like I was saying before, from what I've read, it's ingrained into the common law.
Yep.
That's where it is. It's ingrained into
It has
that.
to be
It's
a
not.
relationship.
Oh, it has to be a relationship.
That's
According to the video,
about the only way it's
hold
gonna
on a second,
work.
y'all. Hold on a second, y'all. Before we move to goalposts, according to the video, you don't even have to have sex with this woman. You don't have to have a sexual relationship with this woman or nothing. She can get somebody to write up something that says you've been a father to this kid, even though you probably ain't. And guess what? You on the hook.
No, what I'm saying is
that's what I'm talking about. We ain't
Yeah,
talking about busting in. We ain't talking about none of that.
No, what I'm saying is that
We need some more
it's
video.
ingrained into the Common Law Act. That's what I'm saying. It's not if,
No,
if
this
the
is something
state
totally
doesn't.
different. Common law has to do with living together. You don't even have to live with this woman to say, "Hey, you my kid's pappy."
No,
But but see, that's what JT's trying to say. It's ingrained. It starts with the common law. The only way that you're gonna really be able to prove that in the court of law, you could have anybody come up there and say anything, but unless you have actual proof where you actually have that where you're actually spending that type of time, that's the only way that they're gonna be able to do that. Like I said, they've been doing this for years in California. This ain't nothing new.
Ironically, like for me, like I'll be honest, the closest I got to, I did date a single mother long time back when I was in college. Back around the time between my time in college and my time in the army, and at my current job, that was a little over 20 plus years ago. The closest I have to raising someone else's kids, my wife is the oldest of 10, and I helped her raise her siblings after their mom died. She has 2 brothers that are autistic. There were 7 kids from, I believe if I remember, from 16 all the way down to 2 years old that lost their mom. And there were different fathers in the situation. My wife and 2 of her sisters were already adults. And my wife and I were already engaged at that time. 4 of her brothers, their dad was never in their life. The last time they saw their dad was at their mom's funeral, and he was never there. 2 of her siblings, they have their father. It became a real ugly custody fight and everything else. Eventually, when he started to get sick, he started having us come by more and more. He just passed away a few years back, and he got married and everything else. But I think because he knew he was getting sick and he was dying, he started bringing us more and more. And I guess that was maybe Faith's way of telling him, you were wrong for what you did to us for all that time. And the youngest, she's now 17. Her birth father passed away some time back. He was in no condition to take her in, and she was part of a kinship adoption. So my sister-in-law took her in. My wife and I were ready to take her in and raise her as our daughter, but my sister-in-law took on that role. It kind of still bothers me, but she has a very strong relationship with me. My 4 of my brothers-in-law, the 2 of them that are autistic are still living with us, and we get them the help that they need and everything else. And that's a real challenge. One brother-in-law, unfortunately, he did something that is unforgivable, and he's no longer part of the family. The other brother-in-law, he was actually born like right after I graduated high school, joined the Marine Corps. He's now working. He's now a father himself. We had a bit of a falling out some time back, but we're working back towards that. And one of the things I remember at my 40th birthday, he basically spoke up to my family and said how much he appreciated me being there. I was not just his big brother, I was his father and everything else. And he appreciates everything I did, not just for him, but for all his brothers and sisters. So I've been in the picture. Like I said, my wife and I have been together for 19 years. That means I've been in her siblings' lives for 19 years. My sister-in-law has kids of her own, and I helped her raise my nieces and nephews for 19 years. Most of them can't think of a time when I was never there.
Right, but
I
that's
was either
family.
there
But that's family. That's family. We're talking dating.
Yeah, I know. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
You already made the commitment. You see what I'm saying? So we're talking about people getting to know each other. You know, that particular stage. Take heed. I know you've probably been watching. I wanted to get you in on this because I don't want to leave you out of this particular situation. So far, what have you gained on this particular situation? Because earlier we flipped it and asked the women if you were dating a guy and he had a kid and you were a mother to that kid, and all of a sudden you get a letter in the mail that says now you have to pay child support because you're a mother to this child. How would that make you feel? You're no longer together with this person.
So I want to first say that my king, thank you for marrying me, because this is something right here. I just want to say thank you, honey. You know, I know you're watching this right now, so I just want to tell you I appreciate you because I don't know where would I be because this is some nonsense coming down the pipe. Okay, so if this happened to me and I was single, God forbid, I don't never want to say I want to be single, but if this happened to me, I would be hurt. I would be hurt. So I understand how the brothers would feel if they just had an interaction with this child and maybe bought the child something or been around the child, maybe took the child somewhere. And then, the mama went and just said, well, he's been around the child the most. So put the blame on him. And I'm going to share something with you. I just think it's another way to just let the baby mamas know that this was a problem. See, I don't think the baby mamas understand how bad of this is a problem. If this law goes into all the states, I hope not Jersey, because Jersey don't do bullshit. But still, if it does, if it hits Jersey, you feel me?
Oh,
If it hits over here, it's painful. It's painful because to make this the responsibility of a man that has never known this woman sexually is wrong. You understand? It should be the
Right.
problem of the father, the one who had the good time. This should be his problem. But they trying to find a way to do what they do, and it's gonna work. It's gonna work because you're gonna have a lot of women rallying behind it, thinking that it makes sense, but they don't know they're going to spite their face. You know what I'm saying? They don't know
Mhm.
they're going to, because what's gonna happen is once a man see you in the store and he say, hello, how are you, got children, and she tell you, yeah, you gonna walk away. The brother gonna just bounce. He's going to leave. So it's a catch.
So we doing that now.
Yeah, they doing it now.
Yeah.
It's a catch 22. You know what I'm saying? But it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. And I share something with you. I thank God that God sent my husband to me, because man, I would be in some trouble right now. Because I was a baby mama. I was a baby mama. Okay. And nobody was looking for me. I always tell people all the time on my channel that I was on baby mama lane up the street around the corner, and my king came looking for me. So thank God, because I would be crying right now. Because on social media, they make it seem like being a baby mama is so amazing. But I have done
Mhm.
it years, and it's hard as shit. It's the hardest shit you ever could experience. And it's the dumbest shit that you could ever do. Because late in the midnight hour, when shit get tough, it's you that's crying alone. Nobody else is there. You know what I'm saying? Nobody else is there. You carrying this baby for 9 months. Nobody is going with you to the doctor's appointments. Nobody is rubbing your feet. Nobody is doing anything, rubbing your back, trying to take care of you. It's painful, and I don't understand how our young women keep doing it. Cause I remember when the first time me and my husband had a child together, and this man treated me like an egg. I remember I just like cried. I couldn't believe how kind and caring he was. And I remember just crying my heart out. So, my mic is muted. I digress.
Take heed. Before you go, I want to ask you a question. Okay. Why is it that our country is so averse to telling women that they're wrong when it comes to situations like this? To me, it seems like it's passive aggressive. Instead of them coming out and say, hey, this is wrong, they would say, well, we'll just write a law, into place to take away from your help. We'll start to remove some food stamps, and we'll start to lower the amount that you get every month, or we'll set it up where if the guy you're dating can't come in to help you, instead of saying, hey, you know what? This is wrong. Why can't the government just step in and just say that?
Because the government ain't right.
Well, I'm gonna share something with you. Truth is, Truth is, women actually run. We actually run who gets in to office.
That's right.
It's the truth. Nobody want to tell that truth, but it's true. If you all you got to do as a candidate, right, is get behind a bunch of women. And I'm not just talking about just any bunch of women. I'm talking about melanated women.
Right.
If you can get behind a bunch of melanated women, baby, you could take everything down. But see, the problem is now is that the brothers are starting to stand up. So there's gonna be a tug of war. There's gonna be a tug of war in this next election. There's gonna be a problem. Because what the thing is that usually our brothers, they follow us. Like when we do something, they'll follow. But these last couple of years, they like, no, I'm tired. This is foolish. We not going the way we supposed to go. And so now I'm done. That's why you see all these men like I'm done passport bros, hashtag passport bros. Shout out to the passport bros. I do not blame y'all. And this is where it is. They have to get behind the women. Now, the melanated women are at the helm, and then you got the rest of them behind them. But they need to be on the women's side. See, if they hurt the women, if they tell them, if they tap them on the hand, see, this is a tap on the hand. But what women really need, they need a backside spanking. But this is a tap on the hand to let them know, okay, wait a minute, don't do this, or they'll cut their food stamps a little bit. That's like a little tap. But the truth is, they need a whole sit down and say, listen, you got 7 babies. Okay? We don't know who these baby daddies is. And you want us to continue to give you welfare, Medicaid, and food stamps. And we tired. See, the problem is the government is tired of being a baby daddy. They didn't think this was going to blow like this. They thought, okay, we could be the baby daddy for a little bit and it'll work out. That's what they thought.
Right.
They thought. But that shit backfired in their face because these women started having 9, 10 and don't know who the baby daddy is and then just continue to stay on welfare. So they didn't know. Even in Jersey, Jersey got a limit. Jersey got 5 years of limit. But the women done got smart. They said before the limit, they'll have a baby.
Spread them out.
So now when the limit come, boom, there's a new baby. So now they have to what? Continue.
Reset.
Continue.
You see?
Can I add to that for a second?
Sure.
It goes from biblical times. How did what happened with Adam and Eve? The devil hit the woman. To destroy the man, you hit the weaker vessel. You know, because we run off of emotions. So he went to Eve. It's the same thing here. We're going to destroy the man and cut the head of the snake. You go to the women and you talk them out of shit and you bribe them and you do all of that, not realizing that the woman is actually destroying the family unit. And that's what daddy government did. And like Take Heed said, now it backfired. It's draining the economy. Now it's too much now. So now we're going to throw it back at y'all. And we just got to take heed to that and go against it. Like Take Heed said, you put women in government. Who's gonna make the government fall? It's gonna be the women. So at the end of the day, y'all men always, and I'm sorry to the men, y'all gonna have to clean up the fucking mess and get it right once again.
You know what?
No, don't put it on man. Don't put it on man.
Hold on a second. I want to touch bases on what she just said. I was watching a video the other day that says that black men and black women vote differently. You know what I mean? And when you go into that polling booth, black men have starting to vote a whole lot different. They don't care what they're doing because if you vote with them, you'll be voting against your own self-interest. So we're the only demographic where our women vote one way and the men are starting to vote a different way. You see what I'm saying? So this thing is a whole lot deeper than y'all really think. And our painter probably attest to that. He's been noticing a whole lot of brothers are saying, you know what, enough of this. they're not on board with that, because if you vote against your own self-interest, you walk yourself right back down to where you were before. Am I not right, Pain?
No, you're right. Now I'm even further than that. I think we should be an open rebellion against black women in office. They've been very destructive. Fannie Willis, that chick in Illinois. I mean, almost all the maids. Look at the big burly chick in New York. I mean,
Letitia James.
I mean, yeah, man, all of them. They all are drunk with power, and they're making all kinds of these liberal decisions. And it's not helping anybody but them. It's not helping no black man, that's for sure. I mean, Kamala Harris, whenever she wants to be black, her claim to fame was putting a whole bunch of black men in jail.
Yep, and busting down the mirror out there too.
So all I'm just trying to say is, if we don't break away, I'm gonna just end it here. If we don't break away and go our own way in terms of how we vote, we're going to just be going right back into destruction. There's nothing in the Democratic Party for black men. Nothing.
But they doing
it. And they not in the Republican Party either.
Well, I'm not talking. Well, we don't vote Republican. We don't know what the hell's in there. We should just take over the party. We should be independent. So I'm just saying.
Honestly, I get what Arpain. I didn't mean to cut anybody off, but Arpain, you do have a valid point. The left has taken us for granted, and the right don't give a shit about us. And that's been the problem for too long.
We don't vote for them. If I can get them in power without your vote, why should I do anything for you?
Honestly, I remember there's a book that I bought. Real good book. I bought it from Jesse Ventura, and it's an autographed copy called Democrats and Republicans, and how the two-party system has taken on the gang mentality, but also how they're working together behind the scenes to make sure that there's no third-party candidate that can be viable.
I agree with that.
Because let's look at a lot of other countries, like Canada, like Great Britain, like France, like Germany, like South Africa, like Australia. They got multiple political parties in their country. We're the only one, as far as I've seen and I've researched, we're the only one that has a two-party system.
Yeah,
we're the only one that has a two-party system.
Before we go too far down the rabbit hole, because I don't want to get too much off course. The only problem is what we know we've been doing as black people. We've been the only demographic, male and female, vote overwhelmingly for one party, and it has not helped us. So it's about time we need to change that. That's
we got people showing up our doorsteps telling us we're not black enough. And then when they do show up, they show up with a bucket of chicken.
I just want to have to go down
they
that
show up with a
rabbit
bucket of chicken.
With hot sauce in their purse,
watermelon,
and hot sauce in their purse, and watermelon. So we're gonna get. Let me put it like this: we're gonna get enough of having people make a fool out of us. I'm gonna say it like that.
How many people? When you talk about this, now understand this again. Have you guys talked to the younger generation about this? Have we talked to them about voting? Have we talked to them about all these other things? We sit there, it's more of them than it is us. They have no idea. I did a show on it. I don't know if y'all was on it, if you seen it, when I showed just a snippet on what the damn Z's think. You know what they couldn't do? They couldn't times 3 times 3 times 3. You know another thing they couldn't do? They
27.
couldn't tell you what history was. They couldn't tell you where they were in the world. They couldn't even tell you where they lived. They don't know what a fucking country is versus a damn continent.
Well, JT,
they don't know shit about goddamn Democrats.
JT, who's doing their homework? JT, who's doing their homework? Who's helping them with their
homework? They ain't
getting
no homework. What the hell are you talking about?
So this is my point. So this is my point. It still goes down to the point of living, marriage, all of these different things. This is what I kept telling y'all, and y'all laughed at me when I said it. When I told you, them sugar boys is starting to look better to this next generation.
They're not helping with homework, brother.
Listen to what I'm saying.
They're not getting any homework.
Exactly.
We don't have.
That's true.
So it comes back to us. What I'm saying is that what we're talking about, they're not talking about. So our pain, when you're talking about this whole thing of marrying young and all of this shit, They don't even know what a fucking continent is, let alone what fucking marriage is, the purpose of marriage is.
No, JT, man, you know what? I just disagree. I don't give a shit what they're talking about. If we don't change the narrative,
And that's why
if
we have the problem that we have.
What you're saying is just keep going down the same path because these fucking guys are ignorant. I don't buy that.
Bro,
teach the motherfuckers, man. Tell them if you're a my kids are. Well, listen, I got a Gen Z kid. I talk to her all the goddamn time.
That's you, man.
Our pain.
No, it's not just me. She's a fucking Gen Zer. She's out in the world. She tells me what's going on. Every Gen Z is not an asshole.
Listen, our pain is correct.
Listen, give me what's the solution? He's just telling us what the problem is.
First, you got to recognize that there's a problem.
Hold on a
First,
second.
you got to recognize before you can come with a solution. You have to recognize that there's a fucking problem.
What's the solution?
JT, here's the thing. Our pain is correct. He's teaching his kids.
That's right.
Man, I'm not talking about his kid.
Here's the thing. The problem of the whole entire show is if you help somebody else with some kids, you're gonna be on the hook. That's the name of the show.
So what I'm saying is this: it still goes to the point. Who we talking to? I always ask that.
You should be talking to your own kids. Are we talking to 50-year-olds,
or do we try to get it to the ones that actually really matters? We got 20 Christmases left.
You're just JT, but you going in a circle because you're telling us that if we don't say what they want to hear, then we shouldn't say shit to them. That's what you're telling me.
No, what I'm telling you is that what you're doing is you're going into a circle. What I'm saying is this.
I disagree.
Watch what I'm saying. I know what you do with your kid, but how many do you think that you are the rule or the exception?
No. I think I don't think I'm a unicorn. I think that the past, that all you fucking people kept telling the baby boomers are assholes. That's bullshit. That's fucking.
Listen to what I'm saying, Arpay. I'm not talking about that. Let's stay right here.
No, I'm just saying. Who do you think the kids are from baby boomers?
Listen what I'm saying. I'm not talking about no damn baby boomers.
I'm saying this whole notion that nobody has taught younger people better than what you're saying. It's just a
Listen
little
to what I'm
snapshot
saying,
that you
Arpay.
took.
Listen to
I
what I'm
don't
saying.
agree with that. I
Listen
know
what I'm saying.
thousands of people who are baby boomers who kids are Z's and millennials who are not idiots.
Arpay.
I mean, stop.
Let me ask you a question again.
Yes,
I just want to answer. Are you the rule or are you the exception with what you do with your
kid?
kid?
I think I'm in the middle of the bell curve.
So you
I don't
is
think I'm an
50-50.
exception. I don't feel like I'm no goddamn exception.
I didn't ask you what you feel. I asked you, are you the rule
I don't
or
think
the
I'm
exception?
no goddamn exception. There's nothing exceptional about me. The only thing that's exceptional is I'm the only asshole up at night
So we
on the
have
fucking panel talking about this as an old man.
Okay, so
I
we
mean,
have
there's
the
a whole
majority
bunch
of
of
people.
old men out there I know that their kids are doing pretty fucking well, and they're Z's and millennials.
Arpay. So what you're doing is the majority of what's happening right now. What you're doing with your kids is the majority of what's happening right now. There's a lot of people that's sitting back and they're talking to their kids and they telling them, listen, if you're gonna marry young. If you're gonna do whatever it is that you teach your kids, which is righteousness, that's the rule, right? What you're doing.
I told you, listen, you're talking about rules and right. Here's what I do, right? When I talk to my kids, they know other Z's and they know other millennials. So when I plant the seeds in them, I hope they plant those same seeds in the people they know. That's what I hope they do.
So what you said to me,
but the fact that you're telling me where we're gonna go with the fact that the Z's are idiots.
Listen, I understand your frustration. I understand your frustration, but what
I'm not
telling
frustrated.
you is
I'm just asking you a question. When's the solution?
Because you're not
to your
answering my
conversation?
question. You're not answering my question.
I did answer your question.
No, you didn't.
Okay,
you went with the 50-50. You went lukewarm on me.
Hold on, y'all. Time out.
Yes, sir.
Time out.
Listen.
Order in the court,
y'all. Listen, we have had Trey Ferg up here, man, for the last half hour. Trey Ferg, sir, welcome to the show. I just want to say,
what's good, Trey?
What up, Trey?
What's going on, Trey?
Let me say this: the ladies are looking lovely as ever. and the fellas, y'all looking ugly as ever. But
Yeah,
with that, I'll be there. No,
yeah, whatever.
how y'all doing today, man?
Doing good, Trey.
Listen,
Tired but I'll live.
yeah.
Hold on a
Don't
second,
be
y'all.
jealous,
Trey
man.
Ferg, listen, you saw the video, man. What did you think?
Listen, I got a story that is living right now. That video. I have an older cousin. Met a little chick. He's supposed to be in this having a little fun. I guess she threw that woo wop the bam on him. He moved in this place. And my cousin was a neat guy. He's one of them type of guys you go in there, he got everything in fucking order. He met her. She had a little girl when she came to him, right? They supposed to messed around. He moved her in a couple of months. All of a sudden, she pregnant. He had my cousin. He had a younger brother closer to my age that passed away when he was like 10 years old. So he's going around for the next 7-8 months talking about, yeah, I got a son on the way. I got a child, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to name him Timmy because that was my cousin, the cousin that died. He's naming him Timmy and do all that, right? Now, my cousin, he probably like you, lost in translation, got that thick hair, almost light skin, but ain't light skin. Big dude, right? Had a big head. This baby came out.
Khaki color.
No. This baby came out white.
Whoa.
So, the baby didn't have a curl in his hair now. No naps, no curl, no nothing, right?
Straight.
So he signs the birth certificate.
Trey Ferg, hold on a second. Hey, y'all, could y'all mute up? Because this is bad TV, y'all. Mute up while Trey Ferg is talking. Appreciate it.
He married the chick, right? I mean, no, he ain't married her. He signed the birth certificate, right? Hush up. So they dated. They going on through the day. So I guess they having problems at this time. She moves out. He crying and shit. I'm like, dude, what the fuck you crying for? She comes back about a year later. Guess what? Now she got twins. That ain't his. She's been living with him for the last 3 to 4 years. Just like that video. And states are starting to do that because now, listen, they're going to squeeze everything they can out of the turnip because 1, they want to continue funding the war. 2, they want to continue to divide. He's going to be on the hook for supporting her and her children, whenever she decides to up and move. He's that guy that's going to be happening all over the world. I mean, all over the country because, and this is why, we talking about it's not in a young man's best interest today to date a woman with children at all. Better yet, now here's a nugget that guys probably don't know. If you date a woman and she talking about she on Section 8 and she on all that, the first thing you do, you make a deal with her right then. Your ass turn me in for any type of child support. I'm going to go down to these people and tell them that I was living with you. Make sure you get some mail over. Hold on to that. So when she start talking crazy, look, go on down there. So when I tell them I was living with you, guess what? You're going to have to pay all that shit back. So you can work with me and let me bow out gracefully if we ain't working out, or you can pay just as much as me because they penalize big on that. If she lie and a man is there and he go down there and turn it in, he got some mail, it ain't nothing she can do. They're going to max her and tax her ass for the next 20 years. And like y'all said, women are looking at these stair-step children because they looking at a retirement plan. But it's just crazy that we in this space. And listen, I know you fighting, brother. You in this world, you got them daughters, and you going to fight, which is great, man. And I know you got hope, and I hope it comes to fruition. But I don't know, man. We just got to, we know the problems in our community. We know it. And without us coming together in any capacity, the future looks bleak for the children. And this is my last time. When it comes to the situation like that, when the courts are only looking at the children, they're not really caring about it. But this shows again how they slap us with they Johnsons, and we step back and do nothing. Now's the greatest time, black man. Start going to your local courts, your local laws, and get out there and lobby a couple of days and see if they don't look to change that shit. Because now we all standing as one voice. So I digress, man. It's scary, man.
Appreciate it, Trey Ferg. What
Yeah,
y'all
we
don't
got a
realize is
Congress.
that this ain't nothing new, man. In Europe a while back, they had this thing called a bachelor tax. That's where they tax single men for not being married. You know, if a
Yeah, I
woman wanted
remember
to
that.
marry you, I don't know if y'all remember that or not.
I do. I remember that.
Arpain, you remember back in Europe where they used to have the what's known as the bachelor tax?
No, actually, I don't remember that. I didn't care about Europe back in my day. Just here, but
Ain't
no, I
nothing
didn't know
new under
about
the
that.
sun.
Yeah,
No,
so
I heard something.
that sounds about right.
My sister lived in Europe, so I remember her telling me about it some time ago when she was living out there. And plus, I got family in Switzerland and Italy too, and I remember they mentioned about it as well.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so basically that's what this is. They just call it something else, you know. But that's exactly what this is. We're
Wouldn't
gonna
the
wrap this
bachelor
thing up, man.
tax?
Yeah,
Wouldn't
bachelor
the
tax. That's
bachelor
what they
tax-
A bachelor
charge.
tax.
But wouldn't
That's
that
what
be
they
the
charge
opposite
single
of what
men
they're
with
trying
no
to do?
kids. Say
Yeah,
what?
but wouldn't that be the opposite? Because what they did in bachelor tax, what they were doing was deterring people for not getting married.
Correct.
They were trying to get people to get married.
Correct.
Right.
They were
That was the
forcing men
purpose.
to get married.
That was
Yeah,
the
but
purpose of it. A lot of it was done to help repopulate some of these countries because one of the biggest problems that they were having is they had a very large senior portion of the population, but they didn't have enough young people to take care of them. So that was the reason behind that was the reason behind the bachelor tax. I got relatives in Switzerland that told me about this, and I remember one of my dad has a cousin that lives in Italy, and her husband was explaining to me about that as well. So it was a way to try to get people to get married. That way, get married, have families, they can pay back into the system, and you have more young people that are grown up to help take care of the elderly. That the influx of their elderly population as well. That was one of the reasons behind it. They were pushing it to try to get people to see, hey, who's going to take care of all these people? We don't have enough people here to help keep things going in our country. We got to do something about it, and that was the reason behind the bachelor tax. I'm trying to remember every country did it in Europe, but I know a good number of countries have done it, and that was the reason for it.
And
Man,
see, here's the thing: you don't
we
even have to
also
have a
did it.
relationship with a woman. You could just be a single man and look up, and your paycheck short.
Yeah, get your ass married. That's get married,
You
goddamn
can't
it.
force nobody to get married.
No, but what they were doing was, but that was the total opposite of what we talk about. The Estoppe is not to get people to get married. It's to do the total opposite of that shit.
Let me ask you this: in both cases, they take money away from the man, right?
No, in that case, they end up taxing the man a lot more. Listen, because we still do it. It's just in the military. Guess what? If you get married, guess what you end up getting? BAQ.
BAQ, yep.
BAQ.
We're not talking about military. We're talking about regular
Hold
people.
on. No, but this is an economy thing. That's the whole thing. It's an economy thing. It's the same thing in a lot of these other places where, like federal jobs, they do the same thing. They incentivize people.
Yep.
And it's an incentive to get married, not to not get married. What we're doing in America is all the shit to deter you from marriage. What they were doing was trying to deter you from a whole life of being by your goddamn self when you 80 years old.
Well, JT,
or
let me ask
nobody
you this.
being able to take care of your ass.
Let me ask you this: in both cases, the man has to pay, right?
Hey, look,
I don't give a damn what you call it. I don't care what you call it.
In all cases, we're responsible for
in
this
both
shit.
cases, men gonna pay.
We're responsible for this
whether
shit.
you have the kid or not.
We're responsible. So what we have to do is start fighting back on shit that's against us.
Listen, with the bachelor tax, even if you were responsible, you're still getting taxed. How the hell is that fair?
No, listen.
Think about it.
This man has
think about it. This man has had
nothing
dick
that's going to be
discipline.
fair for us.
Listen. This man has had dick discipline. Ain't going out being a Pookie and a Ray Ray, and all of a sudden he gets a notice in the mail saying,
Because
"Hey,
they didn't look
you
at
owe
it as
more
that
money."
loss. They didn't look at it as Pookie. We come up with that dumbass shit. The
No,
thing
no.
is this.
You can call it
Listen what I'm
Ralph
saying.
or
Listen what I'm
John,
saying.
whatever it is you want to call it.
No,
But at the
listen
end
to
of
what
the
I'm
day,
saying.
if you're a responsible man, you shouldn't be hit with somebody else's BS. That's all I'm saying.
Listen what I'm saying. what they were talking. This is the thing where families are important. This ain't got nothing to do with a man.
What if that man don't want to be no family?
Okay, then his ass get taxed.
Yep.
Why should he get taxed?
Shit, you get fucking taxed.
It was
Why should
about
he get taxed? It
was about building the population of those
It was
countries.
about building a population.
Listen. You cannot force somebody to clean up the mess. You would invite them to the party. That's all I'm saying,
They do it
man.
all damn day. They do it all damn day. What you think child support is?
No.
What you think child support is?
If you didn't invite me to the party, did you hear what I said? Don't invite me to clean up. I'm sorry. That's not how that works.
Well, we got to take on to that because
That's
guess
not how
what?
that works.
We are in America where we got to clean up the shit that our ancestors and everybody else, but we also can benefit from it too. This is what life is. It ain't fair. It's life. That's just what it is.
Jenny,
we gonna do final thoughts.
We're gonna do final thoughts. Miss Jenny, how can a man benefit in this particular situation? He ain't made no kids, and B, he's saddled with taking care of somebody else's responsibility. How does he benefit? Exactly. Did you hear what I said? But you can try. Go ahead.
Hey.
I mean, I can't even. I mean, I'm really trying to think. I mean, because what you would think, because like what you and JT are saying is like one is incentivizing marriage while the other is not. So it's not even like if he marries the woman, then it makes it better, in the scenario of parentage by Estoppe. It's Polish. It's not even like if he marries her, then it's better. Because if he marries her, all it does is just sink him in the quicksand even deeper. Because then if he tries to leave her, not only does he have to pay child support, but now he's also paying alimony. So I just, I don't know. I don't see any kind of benefit. I mean, I would really have to think if there were some kind of upside to that. But yeah, it just seems like it's all a lose situation for the man. Oh, unless they do what wife school said, which is they identify as a woman and then it won't apply. So
did you hear what I said?
JT,
that at the beginning of the goddamn the show. That came right back to what I said at the beginning of the show.
They out here putting these wigs on, trying to get out of child support.
Exactly what I said at the beginning of the show.
Yo,
by any means necessary.
Go ahead, Jenny. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just saying, by any means necessary. You want to play stupid games? You win stupid prizes. Yesterday, I was a 25-year-old man. Today, I'm a 6-year-old girl. Child support where?
Exactly.
Right.
So,
Child support. It went right back to what I said earlier, and y'all laughed at me. Damn y'all.
JT, you was right. I'm gonna publicly say I apologize.
I wasn't here in the beginning, so I don't know what happened, JT.
I apologize, JT.
JT, for real, I wasn't here in the beginning, so I don't know what went on and everything else. So
go back and watch it, man. You get a chuckle on, man. Grace,
right.
come on, let's give you final thoughts on this particular situation.
Final thoughts on this, that it's some bullshit. It's just another way. It's just another way to separate us. It's just another way to oppress the black man. It's another way to make money for the government because they are in debt. So what they're going to tap into? 80% of the melanated women are single. What are we going to do? Let's tap into that money. Follow the money trail. So with that being said, we got to do what our pain was talking about. We got to teach our daughters to be wives. We got to teach our sons to be husbands. And we just got to do better. It's not going to happen overnight, our pain. We might have to start with the 1 and 2-year-olds and start all over from scratch, because already these 2-3 generations are lost in the sauce. They're not salvageable. Some of them are, but most are lost. So we got to go hang out at daycare centers and preschools, put home ec back in school, put financial literacy classes, and just change the mindset. But it's not going to happen overnight, and it's going to take a lot of work from us old heads to try to teach the young heads. And with that being said, I digress. Men, please protect your name, protect your money, protect your seed, and protect your peace. And women, protect your goddamn womb. I digress. My mic is muted.
Thank you, Embrace the Grace. Our Pain, come on, man.
Yeah,
We done went
listen,
around the mountain, man. Come on, man. Hug
see,
us up.
listen. So first of all, I agree, but I want to come away from these things with a solution. As far as the topic of today, I mean, we just put the tip of the iceberg out there. We need to. How are we going to spread that word to warn men if this thing is spreading that they're in jeopardy by just chilling out with a single mother who might not have their best interests in mind? I mean, if that's going to be a big thing, so somebody's got to spread the word. And just when I was talking about we got to have our kids marry earlier, right? I'm not saying it's going to happen overnight. It's a generational thing. But if we don't start changing the message with the grandchildren coming up, the Gen AAs or even some of the Gen Zs, they're not all unsalvageable. You know, I'm just saying we need to start changing the message for both men and women. We got to stop telling women that they got to have a whole phase. Unless somebody could tell me where the benefit of that shit is. And I can't find nobody telling me. I'm gonna be real quick. I got other bullets. We can go to TikTok and we can put 100 women in succession telling how bad their lives are because they were stroking everything, walking out. I traveled the world. I got dicked down by a couple of Africans, a couple of Burundi motherfuckers, and all this kind of stuff. And I don't got nothing to show for it. You know, so I'm just saying, if we could salvage a woman's virtue by telling them, hey, it's okay to get married right out of college. You can still get your degree. You can even work. But have somebody could settle you down. And the guy don't have to be 40 years old. He could be 30. He could be 25. Because we don't tell a young man the same thing. Because we got to save them from being just out there. Right? And that's the bottom line. That's back to the future kind of stuff. But we got to start sending a message. The other thing is, 54% of men are childless. I'm never going to tell those guys under any circumstance, go find a woman with a baby and fall in love. Search whatever you got to do. Search for a woman that don't have no kid. I don't give a shit if she's black. If you're a black man, you stick your Johnson in a woman and the baby comes out, that baby's black. You know, so you don't need a woman for that. You know, so that's one. The other thing, I got a couple more. Blended families. You got a blended family, you got kids yourself, you can't be that choosy. Right? So you all can blend your families together. And the last one, you know, listen, better decisions, I think they trump nature. Right? I said, well, I think I said it wrong. Nature trumps all of these great decisions we need to make. Not just for men, but for women. We have to just say you got to reach your age of discernment as soon as possible because nature trumps all. That's why we're in a situation. We're unfettered by any stops now. The internet, the social media, all of our shit is wide open because of the tools that we have, the information we're getting. We don't give a shit about no laws, no this and no morals, no nothing. But everything is going back to nature. Women, we found out with the advent of the pill, women like to fuck. You know, and men have always liked to fuck. Right? And men are much more crazy about that. So all I'm just trying to say, women know that what we want, and they know it's predictable, and they can manipulate it. That's why the Dre and Michelle's exist. That's why all those women could go to a 21-year-old guy, say, hey, baby, you can shoot up the club. You know, and he'll say, yeah, okay, I'll do it. You know, so I mean, listen, it's real simple to me, and I'll just land it there. If we don't change the narrative, the future's lost. That's it. We got to change the narrative, and it doesn't matter who doesn't want to hear it. We're only talking to the people who do want to hear it, and I'll land that there.
Appreciate it, Art Pain. Remember, fellas,
I won't mention your without the airplane coming down on me and shit.
We're not gonna drop the airplane on you, man. Clement,
you need to
you
be
on deck,
heard
man.
today. You come tomorrow, then I had an airplane for you.
Clement, you on deck, man. Go ahead and give us your final thoughts, brother.
Well, the only thing that I can really say about it is if we want change, we first of all got to be the example of the change that we want the people that's up under us to follow. It makes no sense for us to say we want change and we want to see change in our younger generation when we as the elders can't sit up there and stay in a marriage ourselves. You can't expect for you can't expect for change when we continue to do the same thing over and over again. That's the definition of insanity. Our Payne mentioned something about the women getting the women out of politics and things of that nature. Well, first of all, we also got to start them out from getting them from in front of our homes and our families, and start taking back the being the head and the leadership that God has called us to be.
Did you hear what I said?
If we want any type of change, unfortunately, it starts with us as men. Now, where we gonna need the help at is from the natural order of what the women are supposed to be to help meet. Whether you're our wives or not, we need our women to stand up and start standing up against some of this craziness that these women are walking around doing. Period. That's our Payne. You want change? You want a solution to the answer? Bring your wife on one of your shows that you have, and let her sit up there and explain to these younger generations on what it is, how a lady is supposed to act, how a wife is supposed to be. That's how you start to change. Instead of talking about it, be about it. Because all we doing right now is we just regurgitating the same thing that we talk about every week. And unfortunately, these younger generations, they ain't looking at us. They were too busy watching Sukihana and all these other people, Drake and they they watching Shaquille O'Neal walking in a big old home, but he done effed up his life because he didn't know how to keep his ding dong in his pants. He lost his family. Now he's complaining, talking about, I'm the loneliest in the world, got all this money. So we have to be the change. We have to be the example of the change that we want to become for our younger generation, period. And no, it's not going to happen overnight. Heck, for our generation, it's probably done. Gen Xers, we done. We can forget it. Baby boomers, yeah.
Appreciate it, Clement. Antoine,
I was
it's on
done
you,
10
sir.
years ago.
Listen. Antoine, come on, man. You saw what it is, man. What's your final
Yeah.
thought, brother?
All right. Well, my thing is, this was a great show and everything else, and I'm looking at the situation like this. Like Scorcher said, we gotta set that example. It starts with us. It goes back to we as the adults gotta set this example for our children. We have to show them this is how it's supposed to be, and this is how it can work. We also have to show our children there's more than one way to get things done as well. And also, we also have to start. We gotta learn to start having those difficult conversations. And I think that's always been one of the biggest problems. We don't want to have those difficult conversations, and we need to start doing that as well. Just like Embrace the Grace said, it's the melanated cultures that are paying the price. Maybe it's time to start looking at our other brothers and sisters in the melanated culture as well to see maybe what are we doing wrong or what can be done. One of the things that I remember was we gotta start looking at our African brothers and sisters to see what they're doing and how they making it work. Maybe it's time to start looking at the Caribbean brothers and sisters to see how they making it work.
Don't get Ikene started. Please don't.
Oh, he
What's
next.
up?
I'm gonna let him cook.
I love
Because
Go ahead, Antoine.
all right, thanks. I just think there are many ways to be black, and there are many ways that we can build this community better and stronger than ever before. And it gets to a point where we gotta not just stop having this fight amongst ourselves between black men and black women, but we definitely got to stop this fight that's going on amongst ourselves between Black Americans, West Indians, and Africans as well. Because maybe we could all teach each other something to make ourselves even better than ever before. And everything needs a starting point. It's not going to happen overnight, but this is the time to start laying that foundation. And that's all I can say. Those are some words we're thinking about. Thank you.
All right. Appreciate it, Antoine. Ikene, it's on you, sir. Grace
Hey, charge Nkane a speaking tax.
Okay.
I got the plane on the runway right now. I got him getting ready to land on your ass too.
No problem. No problem. No problem. The thing is this: before we start trying to deal with our sisters, we got to ask ourselves a question. The question is, for the same thing you're looking for?
That was a
The
test.
question is the sister looking for the same thing you're looking for? Because not every woman wants to get married. That's something Penny's been trying to say. The ones that are 30-something years and above, forget about it. You got to target the younger ones, because those ones, they live in their fantasy, they live in their dream, they live in their delusion, and number two, they don't even want to listen to you. They don't want to listen to you. And the reason why they don't want to listen to you is because they've made the mistake and they've tested the apple. They can't untaste the apple. They've eaten it. They've ate the apple. Once they ate that apple, they're gone. So you got to look for those ones that haven't ate the apple yet. And then you got to discuss about family. Just like I tell you guys all the time, the one thing that really saddens me in the Black community, a podcast, is that you always want to make it Black community podcast. Black community is big and wide. It's not only in the America anymore. It's beyond the Americas. You have to seek for that person. If you love a Black woman are beyond America. Just like I came to America and got me a Black American woman, you can go to another country, another continent, and get you a Black woman that is willing to work with you. Black American community, forget about it. Because the thing I got to tell you is this is the saddest truth. Some of the Black American men in this country, Black women in this country don't want you. Just like some of the Black women in Africa don't want the African man. Sometimes people think it's greener on the other side. It's not. But guess what? Let them live in their delusion. But don't let their delusion become a headache to you. You feel me? Don't let that delusion become a headache to you. If you're dealing with a woman that is delusional, leave her ass alone and walk off. Go find you somebody that respects you, somebody that is ready to be with you, somebody that is ready to guide with you, somebody that is ready to make that family happen for you. It might not be here in America, but I got to tell you, just like Mr. Penn said, get them while they're young. Talk to your sons. Tell your sons when they go to school, go there and obtain a degree, but also find you a wife. Teach your daughter the same thing. When you go to school, make sure you get that ring in your first or second semester, or in your first or second year. Get that ring and come home. I want to meet him. I want to have a conversation one-on-one, man-on-man with him. I want to know which family is he coming from. Start teaching your daughters that there are crazy men out there. Start teaching your daughters when they're little that there are bad men out there. Start teaching your daughters that men out there are not who they say they are. Go and find out the family. Let me know about the family. Let me go search the family for me. Let me vet the guy, and I will tell you who he is. Let me meet his friends, and I will tell you who he is. Don't be scared to talk to your daughters about that by the time that they're 18 that they should be married. Don't be scared about that. Don't be scared to tell them that by the time they're 19 that they should be married. Don't be scared to tell them by the time they're 22 they should be married. Don't tell them to wait until they're out of college. They might be out of college and messed up because they ate the apple. That's it for me.
Thank you, Nkane. Troy Ferg, it's on you, brother. Final thoughts.
No, man, I don't have much to say, but our pain. I don't know, man. You need to share what you got, man, because you've been coming over. You've been booming these last few little panels, man. But just in this dynamic going forward, man. Again, I'll say this till I can't say it no more. This is the greatest time for a Black man to really just focus on self, move according to the land, start expanding your horizons, getting to know different cultures, different ways of life, but understand and stay grounded to America and the way America's policies are being put in place. And until we find a way to come together from age 2 to 92, we're going to always get played like a fiddle. Our future is going to look very bleak. And, and I'll tell y'all, Generation X, to all you other generations, we're going to fight like hell. That's why we push back, because we ain't quitters. We refuse to lose. We not going to lose. And we'll take this shit to our grave. So if y'all want to at least get to a better space, man, you got to have a no quit, a no lose mindset despite whatever fucking circumstances you're going through. We in America, Jack. You better wake up and fight for yourself, or go ahead and just tell them go and take you back into submission. Make a deal. See if they'll make a deal with you, because it seems like we ain't trying to stand up and be soldiers and warriors that we truly are. So, women, give your sons to the father. Just drop them off like Ike Turner's baby mama did him. Just drop them off. It'll change your damn life. It will change your life. Your life will be so much better. So, with that, man, I digress, man. It's always a pleasure. The ladies, again, always looking lovely. The guys are always looking ugly. But I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all know I don't mean nothing by that, man. Keep rocking, fellas.
Thank you,
And
Trey.
ladies.
Appreciate it, sir. JT, go ahead and wrap this thing up, man.
All right, man.
Tell the brothers where they can get their wigs from, man.
Yeah,
man. Hear what I said?
Wigs.
Look, great conversation, like always, on Black Men Unfiltered. We had a lot of different perspectives. I'm gonna say it again. Right now, it's kind of like when you look at the divine order. It's divine order. We done made a mess of a lot of shit. I'm talking about we as just humans, the ones living and the ones that died, made a mess of this shit. You know what I'm saying? So the only thing we can do is, to learn, understand the world first and foremost through the Almighty. Like I said earlier in the show, as we get older and older, the humans get older and older, we keep going further and further away from God. That's the biggest thing. And right now, it's just showing. If you reading the doctrine, whether it's the Bible, Quran, Torah, or what have you, it already puts it out there. All you have to do is understand how the world works. And when we're gone, it's still going to be working. I don't care what nobody say. But right now, when people say these are the end of times, I don't believe that they're saying it's the end of, like, Earth. But it's the end of the way that we thought things were. It's the end of that shit. We die. We got, 113 tops that we can possibly live? If you ain't did no shit in 20, when you was 20, 30, and 40, by the time you get 50, I'm telling you, start getting tired. You get 60, you more than tired. You get 70, you get senile. You get 80, you ain't trying to do shit but just observe the world. 90, 100, you just existing. Hopefully you had built something where you have family that can surround you when you start getting there. But from what we talk about, what we observe, it's going to be really bad for the human being. It's going to be terrible for us because we're going to be in solitary for the rest of our damn old ass lives because we're not building shit. Children don't respect the elders. The elders didn't respect the children before the children even got to the point where they don't respect. So this is where we at right now. We're here. So we gotta kind of like clean up the mess. When it comes down to men, we're responsible for all this shit. The problem with us is that we're not acting like it. We think we are just equal. All that whining and crying shit for the birds. You're gonna die whining and crying. So as a man, what we have to do is we gotta start being a lot better than what we've been before we die. You can find me here at the Black Man Unfiltered Network. And you can also find me at What We Know, right behind me, What We Know Podcast. I'll be working tomorrow on the Black Man Unfiltered and What We Know Podcast. And guess what I'm going to be talking about, y'all?
Boy.
The revenge of the wretched. Not the ratchet, but the wretched. I will be exposing more bullshit, but I'm going to be doing it, having fun in more of a comical type of way. Now, once I bring the panel up, we going to have, you know, like we always do on the Black Man Unfiltered, real conversations about it. But for that first hour, y'all, I'm going to be bringing that bullshit. I'm going to be exposing it. Kendra G, Ugly Money, all kind of panels that be on here. I'm going to be showing clips of that. And we're going to be talking about it, y'all. We definitely going to be talking. So tomorrow is going to definitely be What We Know Wednesday. I've been trying to put the wild in it because these last weeks, man, these last 3 weeks, man, it's been very, very wild. I don't know if y'all saw it last time where I had with the woman with the kidney that needed a kidney.
Yeah.
And she was trying to be demanding and she needed a damn kidney. Girl, if you don't get the fuck out of here with that, tomorrow is going to be even worse. It's not going to get any better, y'all. Tomorrow is going to be even worse. I got some shit for y'all ass. So y'all actually come in tomorrow, 9:30, Black Man Unfiltered, JT, What We Know Podcast, Revenge of the Wretched, not the ratchet, the wretched. And I ended there, my brother.
Appreciate it. I think the main topic of this show is men need to reevaluate, you know, their surroundings and what's going on with them. You know what I mean? How we're educated as far as how we're to deal with the sexes, how to maintain, you know, your manhood, those type of things, how to vet women, you know, how to get to know the women. And also once you get married, stay locked in. Find somebody that want to stay locked in, and that's going to require some work. I always like to promote a little, give people an answer to a problem at the end of the show for those who stuck around. I have a book by a friend of mine. It's called The Sexual Miseducation of the Black Man in America. And this got some fantastic chapters in. Some of the chapters are called The Battle Within, Intimacy versus Isolation, The Hurt in Us, Attachment Issues, Sex as a Coping Mechanism. These are some of the topics that men really need to get their hands on. If you get an opportunity, his name is A.B. Bracewell. You can pick it up on Amazon or where other fine books are sold. Make sure you pick that up and get that for a brother, because the only way we're going to help us is if we get educated. So my thing is this: if you guys want to catch us later on, you can catch us all next week. All this week, we're going to be on the Black Men Unfiltered Network. If you guys want to find me, I'm on the Lost in Translation podcast. We also broadcast on Tuesday, simulcast from here on Black Man Unfiltered, and also on my channel as well, and also on the barbershop as well, and also on Monday night with Humble Dad. That's some fantastic work we're doing over there too. So you get an opportunity to make sure you go over to Humble Dad and subscribe. We have all type of fantastic conversations. So ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be it for tonight. I want to thank everybody for coming out, and I want to thank my beautiful panelists and handsome panelists for coming out and making this thing do what it do. And furthermore, I want to thank Black Man Unfiltered for allowing us to have the opportunity to come in and have these difficult conversations in difficult times. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming out. Make sure that you hit the like button. And if you like what you did, make sure you share. That's the only way we're going to be able to grow the channel. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you for coming to Lost in Translation podcast at BMU with Flipping Tables. Y'all have a good evening. Good night.
Subscribe now.